they find themselves up against a familiar face in an unfamiliar jersey. Nick Markakis is back at Camden Yards tonight as the Orioles take on the Braves. Game 1 of 3 starts now on MASN. It's the Orioles on MASN on a hot and muggy night in downtown Baltimore. It's the Orioles against the Atlanta Braves tonight. It's the opening game in this 3-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. As the Orioles begin the 7-game homestand tonight, they remain 7 games back of the front-running Yankees in the AL East. And over the next 35 days, the Orioles should determine whether or not they're going to be in the race come September. Over the next 33 games, the Orioles will play exclusively out of the division. And here's the breakdown. They have 16 games coming up against the AL West. So far, they've gone 7-10 against the West, 12 against the Central. They do have a winning record against the Central, and 5 games against the NL East, where they have gone 5-7. Following that, 26 of the final 32 games will be within the division. So the Orioles, if they're in it, will have a chance to do it head-to-head. But, Jim, it all begins tonight. They're in the NL East, interleague baseball against the Braves.
Yeah, and, the Braves haven't played here since, 2009. I think they've, 126. Orioles have 124. But to me, you throw all those numbers out, you kind of go back to the last 9 games. You win 2 out of 3 in Detroit, play very well. A couple of 2-run losses against New York. Then you go down to Tampa, you lose the first night, win the next 2. And how do you win those 2 games? Very simple. You got 5 runs in each game, and you got them early. I'll tell you, there's one guy who's probably warming up right now, heading in, and that's Kevin Gausman. He would love for the Orioles to do what they were able to do for Gonzalez, and then again yesterday for Chen, get him some early runs.
The Orioles were struggling on the road trip with the bats, and they did break out the last couple of days, scoring the 5 runs in each. How much does that calm down a hitter, knowing that all the work they put in has had some results?
Well, it's funny. Scott Coolbaugh, before the Saturday night game, you did an interview with him, and you were talking about, okay, we need to have a good approach. We need to maintain that approach. Go back to the Grand Slam home run to Chris Davis. He worked the count to 3-2. He finally got Ramirez to throw him a fastball, 4 quick runs. So early lead yesterday. Of course, we had the Caleb Joseph 2-run home run. Raimo goes 3 for 3. Guys are getting big hits, something they did in the month of June. And the one thing about playing here at Camden Yards, Orioles score almost 5 runs a game.
Well, the Orioles also have had 3 consecutive outstanding starts, and if they continue to get that kind of starting pitching, they're going to win a lot of games.
Well, that and the fact, if you go all the way back to the end of April, the best bullpen is right out here in Baltimore, the Oriole bullpen. So, other than the Jimenez 2 starts, you really don't have any problems with your starting pitching.
7-game homestand begins tonight. It's interleague baseball. The Atlanta Braves are in town. We're coming back to the Yard. Lineups and first pitch are next. is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, the rain has stayed away for the moment. Here's our BGE home game time temperature, 83 degrees, but as you can see, very muggy at 67%. BGE Home is Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? Here's a look at the Braves lineup for tonight. First game of 3, Markakis, Maimon, and Friedman, with Pierzynski DHing with American League rules. Garcia, Peterson, and Simmons with LaBarnway and Perez. Markakis, there are his numbers on the year.
And Kevin Gausman, 5th start of the year for the Orioles, 2nd consecutive one. A couple of home runs against Yankees up in New York. Other than that, pitched pretty well. So again, the numbers a little bit inflated. Both you can see right there. This will be the 5th start. The other 8 out of the bullpen. Righties, he dominates. Lefties, numbers that are a little bit high. One of those aberrational, not a lot of at-bats. So the important thing for him is just really try to get ahead. And then when he uses the splitter, the 2 home runs in New York were on hanging splitters, just try to pitch out of the strike zone.
Right fielder, number 22, Nick Markakis.
Well, that was pretty special, wouldn't you say? Obviously, Orioles, a lot of love for this guy.
Nick had a press conference before the game and was understated as usual. But he said, you know what? I learned a lot about the business of the game. There's Adam Jones, who said he was going to cry when Nick was introduced. Of course, a big smile there, and he fouls it back, and we are underway. But, once you hit free agency, you never know, and it's the player's right to look for the best offer. They have that right in the basic agreement, and that's what Nick did.
Yeah, and I think the bottom line of the whole thing was the neck injury. He needed, he needed to have the spinal operation, and I think the Orioles were aware of that. And again, coming off a year last year where he hit 14 home runs. I mean, lifetime, 290 hitter, averaged down a couple of points from that, but Gold Glove. But 9 special years for the Orioles.
Well, you look at what Markakis did. 9 seasons, 6th all time on the hits list. And who's ahead of him? Cal, Brooks, Eddie, Brady, and Boog. that's a pretty good list to be on. And he is now 3-1 ahead in the count as Gausman got on the foul off the first one, but misses 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's pretty much having a typical year. Hitting well with runners in scoring position. He's over 300. Batting average of 286.
And lines it foul, so the count goes full.
And again, a couple of Gold Gloves out in right field. But I think the neck injury, and he kind of talked about it, it's similar to what happened in 2013, Jim, when he hurt his back in spring training. The power numbers went down because he couldn't do the normal workouts that he does.
Lines it to left field. That's a tough play for Reimold on the run. He's not going to get there, and it's a base hit. So Markakis on a field he is very familiar with will pull in the second with a leadoff double.
Yeah, take a look at the Oriole defense. The best in the American League. Reimold, Jones, and Davis. That's your outfield. Machado, Hardy, Scope, Flaherty, and then Matt Wieters doing the catching tonight. Little back problems, stiffness down in Tampa. But you even play him that way, and he hits it hard enough to slice it down into the corner.
Well, the one thing about Nick, he will use the field, as we certainly know watching him all those years. He is far from a predictable hitter because he has that style. So he is on with his 23rd double of the year. And here is Cameron Maben. Ground ball to third. He won't be able to advance Markakis. Manny has it. And the throw to first, and 1 away.
Yeah, Cameron Maben, one of their hottest hitters, and Kevin Gausman gets him to roll over on a slider. When you throw 93 to 98, and that's pretty much where the fastball rests, You figure he goes up there, slider speeds the bat up, but he gets exactly what he wanted, a ground ball where you can't advance the runner.
So here is Freddie Freeman. He is back. Came back after a stint on the DL of about a month with a right wrist injury that he hurt on a check swing. And he'll take a strike. And highest batting average with runners in scoring position by duo. Well, Freeman and Maben, who just grounded out, the top of the list in all of Major League Baseball. They're combined .402. That's outstanding. And there's a line drive to left, but it hangs for Reimold. Nolan has it for the out, and 2 men down.
Yeah, when you have the kind of fastball that Kevin Gausman, in this day and age, you can play a hitter away and pitch him that way. You know, you might even want to shift more on Markakis the next time he comes up, as long as you're going to throw him a lot of fastballs, and that's what they did to Freddie Freeman, and then he lines right out to the left fielder.
So Gausman gets the second out. Markakis still at second. Here's A.J. Pierzynski, first year in Atlanta. Freddie Gonzalez, the Brave skipper, taking advantage of the American League rules. So he gets a DH and he gets him in the lineup. There's a weak chopper to second. Schoop has it. He'll throw him out. And Gausman works out of it. So the leadoff double, but Markakis left stranded at second base. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Braves nothing. And here come the O's. Reimold, Davis, and Machado. Good night for baseball as the Orioles open up the 7-game homestand. And here's a look at the O's starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Reimold, Davis, and Machado with Jones in the cleanup spot. Then Wieters behind the plate. Hardy, Snyder DHing tonight. Schoop and Flaherty. Manny interleague play career, big numbers, 9 home runs, 29 ribbies.
And a couple of 24-year-old pitchers tonight out of the University of Georgia, second rounder. Gausman was out of LSU, a number 1 guy. You can see a lot of fastballs, breaking ball, and that's a curveball. Occasional changeup. So coming off a year where he was, 11-11. The number's not as good this year, but on the road, started out 5-0. He's 5-3, and you can see the righties hit him a lot better. In fact, he's given up 8 home runs, all against right-handed batters.
So Alex Wood, the 24-year-old out of Charlotte, will get ahead of Reimold. Reimold in that leadoff spot today. David Lowe led off the prior 2 games. Nolan said earlier this year he was being used in the leadoff spot at AAA Norfolk. And he was telling me at the batting cage, he said, if you remember back to the 2012 season, that was the year he got hurt diving into the stands in Chicago. But that year he began the season as the Orioles leadoff hitter. And he takes high, and it's 2-1. So he certainly is comfortable in this spot.
Well, if you go down and watch Tampa, sometimes Steven Souza Jr. runs, and he's a little bit older than Steven and certainly more experience, had more injuries. But he can do similar things when he's healthy.
Now you look at that follow through of Alex Wood. Now, if you're a hitter, what do you look for?
Well, you're seeing a lot of deception. If you look at his, you look at his fastball. I mean, he throws about, as we mentioned, about 65% of them. He's around 90 miles per hour, so that's pretty much like the major league average.
Ground ball through the middle, and there's a base hit for Nolan Reimold. So he had the big game yesterday with 3 base hits and a leadoff single here in the first. Here's our American Standard. Who's hot and who's not? Well, Chris Davis, Jim, certainly hot. Jace Peterson, not so much.
Nope. Well, about Chris Davis, and of course, he along with Adam Jones and of course Manny Machado is now hitting the 3rd spot. They can carry Jace Peterson. He comes in that big trade, Justin, up and go down to San Diego. So he's their second baseman, getting a chance to play. Good early start, hit well. Struggle as of late.
Celebrate the season with the American Standard All-Star event. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. And Davis, first ball swinging, will foul it back. Now, the other interesting aspect of this matchup tonight, Kevin Gausman, until that first inning, had never faced any of the Braves hitters in their lineup. And Wood has only faced Travis Snyder in the Orioles lineup tonight.
Yeah, that's what Snyder playing with the Pirates last year in the National League. I'll tell you the description. One of the radio guys, Hall of Famer Don Sutton, said, if you look at Alex Wood, he said, imagine you're lying in the bottom of a pool and you're looking up through the water and you see somebody do a belly flop. But again, he's very coordinated, so he's able to use that elongated windup and command the ball.
And it's a credit to the Braves organization that he had this style when they drafted him and they didn't try to change it.
Well, at the end of the day, and he raced through the minor leagues. He went 9-5 his first 24 minor league starts. ERA was about 1.73 runs. What are you going to change?
Real good off-speed breaking pitch there. And the count 2-2 on Chris Davis.
He throws that curveball, as we mentioned. The breaking ball can be almost 33% of his pitches. So he trusts the breaking ball. He can throw it over both sides of the plate. And if you can do that, you're going to have a chance to be pretty effective.
Strike 3 called. He gets the fastball in the outside corner, and Davis, maybe mesmerized by the prior pitch, lets it go by and 1 away.
Well, Jim, that sets up the whole count. If you throw it when you're in a hitter's count at 2-1, sometimes you get somebody looking for it again. And you can see right here outside quarter of the plate. Nicely caught by former Oriole catcher Ryan Lavarnway.
So Davis down on strikes, 1 away with Reimold at first. And here is Manny Machado. Manny went 0 for 8 in the final 2 games in Tampa. First time he's gone back-to-back games without a hit since late May. He still had 8 hits on the trip, however, and continues to lead the Orioles with 31 multi-hit games. Falls behind here 0-1. Too tight with the fastball, 1-1.
Yeah, that sets up the other pitches, as you know, Jim. And he throws him a straight change. He's out in front of it, run him off the plate, up and in. Freddie Gonzalez, in fact, his whole staff, I told him congratulations.
They just got an extension.
They got an extension through next season. And then
showing stability.
I think when you try to pitch to Manny Machado, you want to stay down in the zone. You also, a little bit like some of the great breaking ball hitters, if you can throw him a changeup, you can throw it again, but you better not hang it. Because he really has made, and that's why he's hitting as well as he is, tremendous adjustments for a young hitter.
Throw to first will chase Reimold, who does not have a steal on the year. Wood has actually allowed 6 stolen bases, which I thought was quite high for a lefty. And there have been 9 attempts on him. 6 have made it, 3 have been caught. Youthful looking, 24 years old. Now in his 3rd season. Machado pops it up, shallow right center. Peterson, the second baseman, backs up. And he's got it for the out and 2 down here in the Oriole first.
Yeah, take a look at the Braves defense. Perez, Maben, and Markakis. Some names, of course, Garcia, Simmons, arguably the best shortstop, at least defensively in the National League. Peterson, Freddie Freeman, he can pick it, and then Ryan Lavarnway. We saw him years ago when he came up with the Red Sox, and then was a catcher. There is Nick. Couple of Gold Gloves in right field.
And he certainly knows how to play the ball off that scoreboard out there. So here's Adam Jones. Reimold led off the inning with a single. He's still at first. Outside 1-0, and Adam Jones, Jim, had a real good road trip for the O's.
Well, you know, you talked about, I think, early yesterday, he shot a ball into right field. That's when I know he's staying on the ball. Of course, when you're struggling as a team, you want to sometimes do it by yourself.
Adam thought that was low. You could see the reaction after Angel Hernandez called it a strike.
Well, how many low strikes did you see on that road trip?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about the dearth of offense. One of the reasons is they're calling the ball below the knees. It's almost like you want to put a stripe at your kneecap. They need a new pants, you know.
That gets away from the Barnway, and that'll get Reimold in the scoring position. He should have blocked that ball.
Well, he certainly shouldn't have tried to attempt it just to kind of spear with one hand. One of those balls where he's a big guy. But take a look, change up, he bounces it. I mean, he just thinks it's going to stay up, and then that's a ball he should have gotten in front of. Orioles certainly will take it now. All of a sudden, one swing, and with speed at second and 2 outs, good chance to get a run.
It is ruled a wild pitch since it bounced, and Adam now 2-1, a chance to get a run in. Nearly hit him, ball 3. Adam now, with his back-to-back multi-hit games coming off this strong road trip, he's up to 29 multi-hits, so he's making a run at Manny for the team lead. And Adam now with 98 base hits, trying to join Manny in the 100-hit club. Manny's at 109. Good off-speed pitch, Adam out in front, 3-2.
Well, when you talk to people, Don Sutton, anybody that has seen Alex Wood pitch, when you can do this, 90 miles per hour seems a lot harder than it really is. That's now twice to Davis and to Jones. He's gotten behind the hitters and dropped off that curveball. Tremendous trust in that pitch. And if you're Adam, you have no idea what's coming here.
And he got him. Another breaking ball, same pitch. So Jones goes down on strikes, and the Orioles will strand Reimold. Through 1 at Camden Yards, no score. Go inside this series all time. 36 games. Braves have 20 wins. The O's 16. Batting average is about the same. Runs per game about the same. Braves have actually out-homered the Orioles, although this year's Braves team does not hit home runs. And the Orioles ERA a bit higher. This is the first meeting, as Jim told you, since 2012. And speaking of former Orioles, there's Jim Johnson in the Braves bullpen.
Yeah, he's become the closer. He was a setup guy until Jason Grilli had the torn Achilles tendon. In fact, he had a run where he went like 17 2/3 innings scoreless. Well, he's been doing a nice job for him, as we all know he's capable of doing.
Adonis Garcia, the third baseman, takes ball 1 from Kevin Gausman, who allowed a leadoff double but no runs in the first. Garcia, a rookie out of Cuba. And a good off-speed pitch there, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, he's thrown 2 of them. One of them may have been hit to the left side, so he didn't advance Markakis. And boy, when he gets it, whether it's going to be a slider or a curveball as his third pitch, and that pitch low and away, this is when and gets to pitch on a regular rotation every 5th day with an American League Baseball. A lot of good things could happen.
Garcia was just called up. And a swing and a miss, and there goes the bat. And look out, Jace Peterson on deck. So there's Gausman's first strikeout, and 1 away.
Yeah, good splitter, and that's the pitch that got him in trouble. This time, good movement. Goes down, outside corner. Young hitter. But again, it's, you know, a lot of times you throw the right pitch, but you throw it in the wrong location and you get hurt. That's what happened up in New York. There, perfect pitch, perfect location.
Look out, Jace. And here is Peterson, and he'll take it high, 1-0. Peterson, in his first year with the Braves, he was part of the 2 big trades with San Diego. 2-0. Gausman misses outside. He was in the trade in which Justin Upton was sent to San Diego. Strike right down the middle.
At 97.
Yep.
Yeah, you're hoping as a hitter it's going to be called low, and it isn't. Looks like Angel Hernandez maybe not calling the low strike as much as some of the other umpires.
Well, Angel has a reputation of being inconsistent with the strike zone, so before the day's over, somebody's going to get angry. It just it seems to happen every time he has the plate. There's a 1-out walk. So Peterson down to first. Fans, a limited number of tickets are still available for tomorrow night, the special pregame Birdland social party on the center field deck. Tickets start as low as $30 and include a game ticket plus access to the pregame party. There's a catered menu, drink coupons, and an exclusive t-shirt, and you get a Q&A session with Jim Palmer and Rock Kabatko. Don't miss your chance now. Reserve your spot. Orioles.com/BirdlandSocial. And Drelton Simmons, the shortstop, lines the scope, who throws to first, and there's a double play. So Simmons hit it hard, but right at Jonathan, and the Braves doubled up to end the second. In center field, and Nick Markakis, as Orioles Productions put together a nice welcome. And Nick, of course, did look up, didn't acknowledge it. He already tipped his cap to the crowd. He's a visitor here, and he's respectful of the Orioles. But
yeah, well, he also knows what team he's playing for now. And well, if you think about, the draft was last June. If you think about it,
a guy that you, as a #1 draft choice, you want to have come to your city and play 9 years, and not only play on the field but do all the things he was able to do civic, with all the charities and whatever. I mean, this is what you dream about if you're running an organization. And again, for some players it ends, and as you mentioned, it becomes a business or a better offer or an injury, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, Nick was one of the few Orioles who did decide to make his year-round home in Baltimore. Hey, Matt Wieters takes ball 1.
Because you think back, Cal Jr. signed in what, 78. Then it was Brian Roberts all the way, maybe Jeffrey Hammond somewhere in there. And then you go to Brian Roberts in 99. There was a dearth of #1 draft choices that ever came to the Orioles and were able to play at a high level. And Nick certainly turned out to be one of those 9 outstanding years.
2003, he was the Orioles' first-round pick as Wieters fouls it back. At that time, Tony DiMacio was the Orioles scouting director. Tony now scouts for the Braves. We saw him yesterday in Tampa. And Tony, remember, when Nick was in junior college, most organizations thought he'd project as a pitcher in the big leagues, not a hitter. DiMacio was the only scout who thought he'd make it as a hitter. And all these years later, DiMacio has proven correct. Because Markakis has been a tremendous all-around hitter. And now he's trying to get it done for Atlanta as Wieters fouls it back. 1-2 on Matt.
And if Alex Wood, let's say it's the first good swing at the curveball. And those are the kind of things you look if you're LeVarn way behind the plate. And again, there's another one, and it just kind of looks like it's going to head for the outside corner, and it just, you talk about the backup slider. This is the backup curveball. You see the spin. You can see where LeVarn way is sitting, and the ball just spins away. Matt thinks it's going to come over the plate, and it doesn't.
There's J.J. Hardy, who brings a 9-game hitting streak into tonight's game. Upstairs 1-0. For Alex Wood, this is his 3rd interleague game on the year. He does not have a decision, but he has a very good ERA of 2.84. He has faced the Red Sox, he has faced the Blue Jays, and now he is facing the Orioles. He's also a better pitcher on the road than he is at home, at least if you look at the ERA. There's a strike. J.J. took all the way. 2-1 on Hardy. 1 out, none on.
Yeah, and that's kind of unusual for the Braves, as they're about almost 3/4 of a run higher on the road as a team.
Wide at first. There's Freeman. The race is on. The flip to Wood. He gets there, and he missed the base. He missed the base. Scott Barry called him safe. He definitely got there ahead of Hardy, but the toss was high, and Alex Wood overran the bag.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good throw, and of course that 6'4", all arms and legs, almost looked like a flamingo going over there, and then tries to catch it. So there's the toss, but again, when you have to do that, he runs right by the bag. A little lower toss, you catch it, you see the bag, but by having to go up, eyes go up towards the sky, Orioles get a break. Pretty routine play until Freeman doesn't make a good throw. Now, of course, he missed 5 weeks with that wrist injury, so not playing a lot. 1 rehab game and back in action.
So the Orioles get a 1-out base runner. And Travis Snyder will now bat. Travis is DHing tonight. He is 3 for 7 with a home run against Alex Wood. And a weak ground ball to second. Peterson has it. Goes to second for 1. Back to first. Is not in time. So 2 down as Hardy is out at second base. Maryland Lottery's contestant of the game, Mitchell Marucha of New Freedom, Pennsylvania, has won $500 for being selected and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play baseball buck scratch-offs and win up to $50,000 or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/baseball. And they have ruled J.J. Hardy is credited with a base hit.
Really? Good for him, but
he will certainly take it.
Is the scorer wearing a Santa Claus suit?
That extends his hitting streak to 10 straight.
Well, it is a game of judgment, game of adjustments.
Come on, Jim Hardy beat that out with his speed.
I know I've been away for a couple of weeks, but I've been watching.
He's been working on the speed.
Yeah.
Go bounces it foul, so he's down in the count 0-2. Jonathan has a 2-game hitting streak going. He had 9 hits on the road trip, a .290 batting average.
Yeah, you look at Alex Wood and then you look at Kevin Gausman. They both signed the same year, but he must have been an early signer because he pitched, got like 52, 53 innings in 2012. Kevin Gausman signed later.
Fly ball to right, playable for Markakis. And Markakis puts it away, and the inning ends. So 1-out single, a man left. We're through 2. Pitchers in command, no score. Tonight, both products of the Southeastern Conference. Kevin Gausman, the Orioles' first-round pick out of LSU in 2012. Alex Wood out of Georgia, second-round pick of Atlanta in 2012, the same draft. They both made their major league debuts a week apart. For Gausman, it was May the 23rd against Toronto, 2013. 7 days later, May 30th, Alex Wood made his major league debut against Toronto, and Wood has a little bit more experience. And, Jim, we want to thank the folks at LSU. They looked this up for us. Southeastern Conference, Alex Wood and Kevin Gausman faced each other once. They were both the Friday night pitchers, as they call it in college, and neither had a very good game and had a no decision. It was April 27, 2012 in Baton Rouge, crowd of about 8,000. Wood went 7 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned on 8 hits. Gausman went 6 innings. He allowed 10 singles, 5 runs, and 3 earned. And LSU won that in a walk-off. But 2 star pitchers in the Southeastern Conference drafted in the same draft, and their major league debuts within a week of each other the following year.
Yeah, and distinctively different styles. One right-handed, one left-handed. Gausman, even though he has a great splitter, tonight just had a pretty good breaking ball, but can throw about 5-6 miles per hour harder.
Ryan Lavarnway fouls it off 0-2.
So Ryan Lavarnway working on a 7-game hit streak. As they told me next door, Chip Carey, who does the TV, said it's about a 3-week streak, mainly because A.J. Pierzynski's been doing most of the catching. In fact, he got a big double yesterday.
Shallow right, Davis is there. Well, remember when Dave Valley was the Mariners catcher? Ken Griffey called him the NFL catcher. He only caught on Sundays. Tomorrow is the season's next Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Birds will battle the Braves tomorrow, 7:05. And as you know, every Tuesday home game, all the upper reserve seats just $10. So save some green and break out your black and orange. Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. There's Pierzynski. His first year with Atlanta, and he's on his 5th team in the last 4 years, and we're told he has fit in very nicely. He's working well with the coaches. He's been a good teammate, and now at the age of 38 has decided, this leader thing is okay. I want to be a leader.
Well, he's always done a nice job. He's the type of guy
Ground ball knocked down by Flaherty. He's not going to have a play as it squirts away. Nice job to block it, or that would have been a double. But unfortunately, it didn't stick in the glove. So there's a base hit for Yuri Perez, a 1-out single.
Yeah, he's happy because he was 0 for 12. And then, you know, new glove. I asked him, I said, whose glove are you using? He said, Steve Pierce's. So that error goes, it's not an error, it's going to be a base hit. That Hardy's is a hit. That definitely is a hit. But anyway, bad glove.
Well, Ryan has one day, maybe he'll let us look at his equipment bag. He must have about 7 gloves in there. He's got to have a second baseman's glove, a shortstop's glove, a third baseman's glove, an outfielder's glove, the first baseman's glove, of course. And the rumor is he's really the secret backup third catcher. So he's got to have his own catcher's glove, too. Mr. Versatility, Ryan Flaherty. Of course, if Pierce were healthy, he'd be at first base tonight to get that extra right-handed bat in there. 1-0 on Markakis. And a little bit low for ball 2.
Yeah, see, that's what you were talking about. That's pitch a strike earlier there. I mean, I'm not saying it's a strike, but it's been called a strike. So as a pitcher, hitters, you know, maybe the strike zone will wander a little bit. They still play Nick Markakis to pull a couple of steps, even though he sliced that ball right down the left field line. Give him a lot of room in the left field corner.
That one's right down the middle, 2-1.
And now with the count, they move over a little bit. You can see Adam Jones moved, what, about 3-4 steps. Now he's just to the right shoulder of Kevin Gausman, who's pitching.
Well, they're not going to shift on Markakis. He hits it everywhere. Throw to first, and diving back in safely is Perez. There have been 3 steals against Kevin. 1 has been caught, so 4 attempts. Perez at first does not have a stolen base attempt. Yuri Perez out of the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, in the minors, 20 or more stolen bases every year.
And that's over but low for ball 3.
Yeah, so now all of a sudden you might even want to shift back a step or two. Got to throw a strike. Nick's got to be hitting off the fastball. Again, went through, what, 355 at bats without a home run. Hit a change up over the center field fence just last week.
(3-1) is popped foul over the Atlanta dugout. And it's back in the crowd for a souvenir. Oh, the fan missed it. He had a play. It was coming right to him, and he missed it.
What kind of jersey did he have on?
Orioles.
Well, least amount of errors in the American League by what, about 13.
I got it. I got it. Oh, I don't got it. The other guy's got it. So the count goes full, 3-2. Let's see if Perez is put in motion. 1 down, no score here in the 3rd.
Yeah, it's a good time to hold the ball a little bit longer and then make your quick throw. Maybe get him leaning.
He is running. Pitch is fouled back on the screen.
Yeah, and you could see, I mean, that's a hang-in splitter, very much like the one Teixeira hit up in New York, and Nick was all over it. Just missed it because it speeds up the bat. Go from 96 to 86. That head's going to get where you really don't want to get it in this ballpark, which is out in front.
7th pitch of the at-bat about to be thrown to Nick Markakis.
Now he's got a pretty big lead. Just hold it.
He doesn't go, and it's fouled back this way. Look out, Jim.
Yeah, I think they have a chance to pick him off. Good throw. Just again, you know, young player. Get him leaning, and we can pick the Markakis with nobody on base.
Extends his lead by a step. He's running, and the pitch is hit to short. Hardy will step on the bag. Safe throw to first. Out at first.
So one of those little nuances of the game. 2-2. It's a double play. 3-2. They do run them. Don't try to do it as a steal. It's just again, you're going to try to stay out of the double play, and that's exactly what happens for Freddie Gonzalez and the Braves. perfectly positioned. And you could see J.J. Hardy knows he's got plenty of time. Thought about tagging it on. Nope, I'll just take a little stutter step and make the perfect throw.
Well, the second time tonight Atlanta gets a runner in the scoring position. They were 0 for 3 in the first inning after the leadoff double by Markakis. Here's Cameron Maybin. 2 down now. Inside corner called strike. Maybin staring down at the plate.
Oh, you got the scouting report on Angel Hernandez, don't you? That certainly gets your attention if you're a Brave fan or the manager, or you're hitting at home plate.
And a bouncer left side. Hardy's got to hurry. Maybin can run the throw, and he got him by a step. J.J. Hardy with a gun to get him, and the inning is over. So 1 out single, 1 left. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Gosden and the Braves, no score. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com and by your local Mercedes dealership. No score as the Orioles come to bat in the third and welcome home the Maryland native Ricky Arnold. Astronaut Ricky Arnold always comes to see the Orioles when they're in Houston, and he's back home visiting family. There's his wife on the far left and his daughters on either side of Ricky. Real nice family. He's got a big group here, about 8 or 9 people, and enjoying Orioles baseball. He is a real good Orioles fan and does great work for NASA as an astronaut up there in the space station.
How about them finding a sister planet of ours?
Yeah.
Kepler 452 something.
Ricky found that?
No. Boy, he was part of it. His guys. Because you know, Jim, everybody has to have people.
He's from Cheverly, Maryland. Well, Ricky's got lots of people.
Yeah.
Each year when the Orioles go down to play the Astros, NASA, because of Ricky, the Orioles get a private tour of the NASA Space Center.
They did it this year.
Mission control, yeah. So good to have Ricky back. Saw him on the field before the game watching batting practice. Check swing by Ryan Flaherty, did not go.
So this is a test. Lefty's hitting 278 off of Alex Wood. And as we mentioned, all the home runs, 8 of them. And he doesn't throw many home runs. He went 46 consecutive starts without giving up more than a home run. And there's another good breaking ball. So, well, a little of a Brian Mattis look, doesn't he? The way he wears the hat, similar size. But a little bit different kind of windup. A lot of deception.
Yeah, not only good movement, comes in off speed as well and upsets the timing. He's averaging about 7 Ks per 9 innings. He already has 4. And Reimold skies it high to right. Markakis in on it. And 2 quick outs in the Oriole third inning. It's now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag OsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Now, I'm told by Bonnie that you entered this contest while you were on vacation.
And I didn't win.
And you had all your Oriole memorabilia.
I had on the floppy hat. I had the Hawaiian shirt. I had the gnome. Had a glass of wine. And the Orioles almost won.
Weak ground ball to first off the bat of Davis, and the Orioles go quickly here in the third as Wood is a 3-up, 3-down inning. We'll head to the fourth. No score. Comes the fourth player to join the 500 home run, 100 stolen base, and 300 batting average club with Ruth, Aaron, and Mays. I like that company. He reached that group by stealing a base in yesterday's game. Zach Greinke, he gave up a run. Scoreless streak ends at 45 and 2/3 inning. His counterpart, Jacob deGrom, had an RBI groundout. And David Ortiz, 2 home runs and a career-high 7 RBIs last night against the Tigers. Today was the day that emotions were going all over the place. I was watching the inductions. I'm not going to lie to you. It was very emotional, of course, because his countryman, Pedro Martinez, was inducted yesterday in the Hall of Fame. And Pedro went out of his way to pay tribute to his native land, Dominican Republic, as he should. And he did.
Who's actually had the, along with Juan Marichal, first Dominican, great right-handed pitcher.
Freeman fouls it back.
Yeah, big swing there. Well, he's their best hitter, and he missed, as we mentioned, because of the, really, he just, as you mentioned, checked the swing. It was the right wrist, so it's the lead wrist. But he can hit. And as you mentioned, hit came in with a batting average over 400 runners in scoring position.
Well, Freddie Freeman now in his 6th season with the Braves. They gave him an 8-year contract that runs through 2021. Just off the plate.
There's 98, and an easy 98. You never get the feeling that Kevin Gausman has to overthrow to get into the 95 to 98 zone.
And he got him.
Wow.
Another 98.
Yep.
But Kevin was all pumped up. He got to see Ben McDonald in St. Petersburg.
Yeah, well, there's another #1 draft choice. There is your Nissan pitch track. Try to track this, Freddie. 98. And when you have that kind of velocity and a lot of late life, even though that ball's in the middle of the plate, you can get away with it.
Ben did an interview for O's Extra with Kevin that aired tonight. And after the interview, they sat on the bench and they talked. They had to be 25 minutes. Of course, Ben McDonald is still one of the biggest players ever to come out of LSU, and that's where Kevin went. And Kevin now resides in the offseason in Louisiana. As Brzezinski fouls it back, and Ben was giving him a lot of advice about the young stud coming along. And Ben was a #1 overall pick. In fact, it's the only time the Orioles ever had the first pick in the draft, and it became Ben McDonald.
Yeah, you talk to people that scouted Ben McDonald. And Ed Farmer, who good reliever in the major leagues, does the radio. He was the Orioles scout. He said best college pitcher I ever saw. Ever.
Similar body type to Kevin Gausman as well, both long and lean.
Yeah, a little bit taller. Yeah. Of course, he used to pitch. What Ben would tell us, he'd be the Friday night guy and then pitch in relief on Sunday. Or was it Saturday? No, probably Sunday.
Well, in college, probably Saturday. 2-2 pitches, low ball 3. Of course, Kevin has outstanding coaching here with Dave Wallace and Dom Chidi. But I think every once in a while, it's a good thing to be able to talk to somebody who's gone through what you're now going through. There's Dom in the bullpen. 3-2 pitches foul back, so Pierzynski stays alive. Kevin in his 53rd big league game. It's his 30th major league start. And on the 7th pitch, hit into the shift. There's Machado. Gets a nice hop, slings it across, and 2 men down. And there's the first 2 retired here by Kevin Gausman. That'll go 5-3. The player designed T-shirt series back at Oriole Park on Thursday. All fans at the game that night against the Tigers receive a Glove Orioles T-shirt designed by Gold Glove winning shortstop J.J. Hardy. To celebrate Hardy and add to your Birdland wardrobe. For your tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Good looking shirt. Line drive down the line. That is a fair ball off the bat of Garcia. It heads it to the corner. Running it down, it's Davis. And Garcia heads to second base with a 2-out double. So the Braves have had a base runner in every inning. This time it's a 2-out double.
Yeah, the big game-winning home run for Adonis Garcia yesterday off of Michael Walker. Hit a hanging slider. And here it's just a fastball away. Wait till it gets in the zone. That's what you can do on the ball away and just slice it into right. They have, a guy, Kevin Seitzer. I saw him play when he came up with Kansas City, but he was a hitting instructor with Toronto. And he was the master of spraying the ball around the ballpark. So again, you get young hitters, you try to teach them this, you slow the game down by just waiting for the ball to travel a little bit long.
Now here is Jace Peterson. And he'll take a fastball right there for a strike.
Yeah, one of those guys that's really been struggling, as we mentioned. 18 for his last 109, so that's in the kind of where he's hitting with runners in scoring position at 176. Tommy Hunter, Jazz Rowe, solving some world problems.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Fastball inside.
Yeah, pretty good take there. Well, you got about 4/10 of a second, and it's a real quick 4/10 of a second when you're throwing 96, 98. But for him to lay off that pitch and maybe get a better pitch to hit is what Kevin Seitzer would like him to do.
It's Jonathan Scope, and he'll get the out at first, and the Braves waste a runner at second base. They are hitless with runners in scoring position, solving the problems in the bullpen. Keep it in the family. Corbin Joseph, the second baseman at Bowie, named the Eastern League Player of the Week. Look at those numbers over the past week. 5 home runs, 8 RBIs. Now, yesterday, he had a 4-for-4 day. He had a 2-run home run. He had a solo home run. He had a triple. And he had 4 RBIs. He had a better day at the plate than his major league brother did.
Not unless if you talk to Caleb. That was what B.J. Surhoff was agitating down by the cage. He's going, that's 12 total bases, a lot better than what you did. And of course, Caleb looked at it. He said, that was Double-A. I was doing mine in the show.
In the
show. The 2-run home run.
That's right.
Nice young ladies looking on, going, okay, we got a couple of hits.
Well, congratulations to Corbin.
Yeah.
For having the big week. And
a left-handed hitter versus Caleb being a right-hander.
A couple of years younger. He's 26.
It's a good month.
Yeah. Here's Machado. Fouls it back this way.
Yeah, a lot of deception. I mean, all kinds of pitches, change-ups and curveballs. Manny, a great change-up to start him off, got behind him, and then got him to pop up a high fastball, and not too many guys can do it. There's Roger McDowell, the longtime pitching coach. A terrific reliever back in the mid-'80s for the Mets.
Yeah, he was on that great team in '86.
Yeah. He was their closer.
Foul back.
Yeah, see, he can go up the ladder at 87, and it looks like it's about 95 because of deception, moving the ball around. Those are the numbers, over 300 for Manny this year against lefties. But this is not your typical lefty.
Check swing, and it's upstairs. Field to first. He did not go. Scott Barry said he checked. Orioles have 2 hits, the Reimold single and the J.J. Hardy single to first base. Manny fouls it off, protecting the outside corner. Those have won 2 in a row. The 3-game losing streak in New York, and then it stretched to 4 games when they dropped the opener in Tampa. Machado, a high fly ball to right. That's playable for Markakis near the line. And Manny's retired, and he is over 2 on the night. The O's upcoming schedule brought to you by Mile One Automotive, offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit us in-store or online at mile1.com. And 2 more games in this Atlanta series. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on Masson. Wednesday night at 7 o'clock on Masson. Of course, O's Extra gets you started at 6:30. Adam Jones struck out his first at-bat. Adam has hit in 2 straight, and each have been a multi-hit game. Up and away. Maben shading towards right center field. There's a ton of room in that left center gap.
And they play deep. You know, this is a very small ballpark here at Camden Yards. But
Good slice foul the other way.
Yeah, how many guys like Adam Jones or any of the hitters do you see being late on an 87-mile-per-hour fastball? And that really goes back to the first at bat. He thought he was going to get a fastball and a fastball count, even though I'm not sure there are a whole lot of those anymore. Got a breaking ball and then struck him out on another one.
Too tight with a fastball, so he gets ahead 2-1.
So again, if you have good command, you get him off the plate with that pitch, and let's see if he goes right back out to the outside corner here.
He does, and there's a comeback. So Jones is retired and 2 away. It's 7 in a row retired by Wood. Get in on the baseball action with Masson. Text the word Orioles to 29292 for team alerts and chances to win exclusive prizes all season long, including meet and greets with your favorite players. Again, that's Orioles to 29292 for O's alerts you just can't miss. Matt Wieters now struck out his first at bat. Matt is now 0 for his last 13 and just 4 for his last 29. High fly ball slicing down the right field line, but it's going to fade back out of play. Buck Showalter was saying before the game that with both Wieters and Stope, even though they did have a lot of at-bats in extended spring training as they were rehabbing their way back, it is a different speed against much better pitching up here, and it really takes some time to get the timing.
Well, just go back to look at when you have injuries. Matt missing most of last year because of really from late April, early May. You know, Scope is more this year, and of course, the young hitter doesn't have the experience. So look how long it took Victor Martinez when he hurt his knees to come back. It took him almost 2/3 of a season.
Wood thought he had strike 3. Instead, it's 2-2 on Wieters. Wood has struck out 4. He has not walked a batter. J.J. Hardy waiting on deck. And fights it off to stay alive. Wood has allowed his share of hits. In fact, he's averaging about 10.5 per 9 innings. A little high for a starter.
Well, it's a lot higher than last year. He was under 8. And there's again, Matt's the only guy that he's either looking for him or he has gotten some hittable curveballs, because that was a hanging curveball. And you probably see 3 or 4 pitches now into the 4th inning. That 57 pitches have been balls you could drive tonight. That's how good Alex Wood has been able to stay out of the middle of the plate.
Here's the 7th pitch, and Wieters loops it foul. It's back in the crowd, out of play.
And because he uses that curveball and changeup, you just have to wait just a little bit longer, and it makes the fastball so much more effective.
24 years old, out of Charlotte. In his 86th major league game, it's his 55th big league start. Sharply hit, but right to third. There's Garcia. And he'll get Wieters, and the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down for a 2nd consecutive inning. That is 8 in a row retired by Alex Wood. We head to the 5th, no score. Shield contributes $50 to support the March of Dimes. The O's have drawn 236 walks for a total of $11,800. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and a more active lifestyle. Mr. Palmer's statue, a sculpture out in Legends Park.
Sculpture?
Yeah, it's a sculpture. It's a sculpted statue.
Okay.
It was sculpted, then bronzed.
Probably
for number 22
tonight. Perfect night to pitch. If you can keep the arm dry. Never use rosin except to actually put it on your arm. Keep the perspiration from getting to the ball.
There's a breaking ball for a strike. Fly ball to right. And there's Chris Davis. Well, the next fireworks night is set for this Friday after the Orioles take on the Tigers at 7:05. You can stay around after the game and watch as the Birdland skies light up. A dazzling display, all presented by Kaiser Permanente. Good seats remain, but you know they're going to go, so get your tickets and come on out and join us. Orioles.com or call 888-848-BIRD. Here's Ryan Lavarnway. And he was designated for assignment by the Orioles. That was on May the 26th. He did clear waivers and then refused his outright assignment, signed instead with Atlanta, went to Gwinnett. And he has since been called up from the Braves AAA team to be the backup to Pierzynski. He appeared in just 10 games for the Orioles and went 3 for 28. Kevin Gausman has scattered 3 hits. He's also walked a batter. No runs. It's his 5th start for the Orioles this year.
Yeah, he's gotten away. He's got the good fastball tonight, but that's when a guy's behind your fastball, you don't want to do what he just did. He got a little bit fortunate because he fouled it off, but belt high 85-mile-per-hour changeup does make a guy that's late on your heater right on time sometimes.
Ball and 2 strikes on Lavarnway. 1 out, nobody on. Upstairs with a fastball. Lavarnway was the surprise of spring training, making the team, the Orioles team, out of spring. So it'll be Caleb's backup, waiting for Matt Wieters to return. Strike 3 called, and he knew it. He just turned and walked away. Perfect pitch by Gausman and 2 away.
Yeah, well, it's perfect in a couple of senses. Number one, it's a strike, 96 inside corner. Late on the fastball. I mean, it appears that he was looking for something else.
And now he's talking to himself.
Well, that'll do it.
And here is Yuri Perez, the number 9 batter. Had an infield hit off the glove of a diving Ryan Flaherty at first base, his first at bat.
It kind of pool cued it down the right field line. And there's another pitch that he thinks is low. Yep, a lot of body language.
And no balls and 2 strikes on Perez. Gausman looking for his first clean inning, and he bounces it in there.
Yeah, that's what I like to see. Again, the breaking ball is still a work in progress, and but the tilt was good there. Wieters gave him the glove down and away. He was able to throw it. Maybe a little bit too much of a ball out of his hand, but very efficient pitch count tonight. And there's another pretty good one.
He has not utilized that breaking pitch as often in the big leagues as he has in his AAA games this year. Weak ground ball past the mound. Hardy near the bag. Fires and not in time. He beat it out.
Yeah, new players and a speedster. As we mentioned, 20 or more stolen bases every time he's been in the minors. And again, he gets jammed. You could see kind of a long way because he's playing, conventional depth. This is what speed, pretty routine ground ball except for the speed factor. So 2 infield hits.
Yeah. 2 90-foot singles.
It's almost like J.J. Hardy looked over at Jonathan Scope and said, yep, got to maybe play a step in. And he gets Nick Markakis up with 2 outs and a man on first. You'd think that maybe they would try to get somebody to second base.
Bluff going, and Markakis takes a strike. That pitch appeared to be sailing outside, but with Wieters moving, maybe Hernandez saw it differently.
Yeah, most of the time that actually inhibits you from getting a strike called, but you may be right about that. May have blocked his view of the strike zone.
Markakis looked down at Bo Porter, his third base coach. We'll see if there's something going here. Go to first, and Perez dives back in. There's Bo Porter, former Nats third base coach, former Astros manager, and now third base coach with Atlanta. Ground ball, Gosman gloves before it got by him, and he'll get Markakis at first. So the infield hit with 2 down and 1 left. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Our Mazda do-ups in this scoreless game. J.J. Hardy, Travis Snyder, and Jonathan Schoop. Well, we saw astronaut Ricky Arnold in that montage, and maybe one day Ricky will go to the moon if we ever go back to the moon. Here's J.J. Hardy against Wood. He'll take ball 1. J.J. an infield hit his first at bat. His hitting streak now at 10 straight games. And a call strike on the corner. This has been a pitcher's night. Total of 6 hits in this game. And 7 base runners, 6 hits and 1 walk. Ball 2, 2-1.
Yeah, just looking for something on the inside middle. And again, remember, all the home runs, all 8 of them, doesn't throw many, are by right-handed hitters. So that one mistake in the middle of the plate. The Orioles have yet to get that.
Breaking ball, but he bounced it to third, knocked down by Garcia, picks it up and fires, and he has a gun, and he got him.
Yeah, the first throw, he used to take, when you used to take infield every day, you'd watch the way they threw it in the minor leagues when you were coming up, and first one was just a floater, had all kinds of time. He bobbles this one, and then watch this arm. I'll get it, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Boom. And a big target over there with Freddie Freeman.
So Garcia gets his man. Here's Travis Snyder, who takes a strike. Travis bounced into a force play his last at bat. He's now 0 for his last 11, 1 for his last 16. And he is 2 for 28 with no RBIs in the month of July. Scott Kubal works with him every day. Travis was out again today for early batting practice.
Well, yeah, he's a firm believer in that you don't panic. Numbers certainly would be panic numbers, but you just keep working. He's one of those guys. I mean, has the video camera, photographed his own swing, so he's working on stuff.
Oh, he's definitely working.
Well, and he's always, I mean, he's very conscientious about that.
Ball 3.
So let's see. I mean, there hasn't been, as we mentioned before, there haven't been any where I know what I'm going to get counts. Let's see if this is, he can look fastball and maybe get one. Nope, breaking ball.
Pops it up near the dugout. And it's in the dugout, so Snyder has life.
And it's not only that Alex Wood will throw that breaking ball when he's behind the hitters, he gets it over.
So full count. Wood on this muggy night trying to stay comfortable. And Snyder fouls it off to stay alive. Nine in a row have been retired by Wood. Orioles' last base runner was Hardy's one-out single in the second. And he protects the outside corner there.
Well, that's what you have to do. And the other thing that Alex Wood could do, the late Mike Flanagan, remember when he taught, he was pitching coach here, he taught Doug Johns a two-seam fastball to lefties. And it, it moves down and in. You're trying to cover the outside corner, which is what Snyder's going to do. Very effective pitch.
Lines it to left field. Right there is Perez, and he makes the catch. It nearly sailed on him. Now that's scouting. You never see a left fielder that far over towards the line.
Well, I think you try to, yeah. I mean, it's your advanced scout, and as we mentioned, Travis has really been struggling. But again, that first step in, and then a nice adjustment by Perez. In a 0-0 game, this could have been a huge play, but he runs it down. Big glove, nice grab. Nothing like the hard line drive to misjudge. That ball wasn't right at him, but certainly had a chance to kind of tail away from him or slice away.
Breaking ball freezes Scope. 0-1. Jonathan flied out to right field, his first at bat. And a high fly ball to center field. Maben, he's waiting for it. And he's got it for the out. And there's a 3-up, 3-down inning. 3 in a row retired by Alex Wood. Of Maryland University College, the state in baseball history. July the 27th, back in 1927, Mel Ott hit his first major league home run. It was an inside the park home run. And in 1982, I would have liked to have seen this. Ricky Henderson got caught trying to steal 3 times in the same game.
So you have one guy, Mel Ott, hit over, what, 511 home runs. It all started circling the bases inside, and then Ricky Henderson, the all-time leader in stolen bases.
Well, Kevin, very pitch efficient, 68 pitches through 5 innings. Still looking for a clean inning. Braves have had 1 base runner in every inning. But they have gone 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Maven takes strike 1.
Orioles yet to have an opportunity.
Right. Orioles have had just 2 base runners.
Well, this is the guy, if he gets on, becomes a, if you walk him or he gets a base hit, he leads the team in steals, 17 out of 21.
He has really surprised the Braves with his consistency. Atlanta is his 4th organization. He was drafted in the 1st round by the Tigers in 2005. Then in 2007, after he played in A-ball that year, he was dealt to the Marlins. He was involved in the big Miguel Cabrera deal when Miguel went to Detroit. He was then traded to the Padres following the 2010 season. Ryan Webb went from San Diego to the Marlins. And then he was traded to the Braves April 5th for Craig Kimbrell, the closer. Ground ball towards the hole. There's Manny, spins, throws quickly, and got him. Knowing the runner, he got rid of it quickly, and he gets Maven by plenty.
Yeah, well, not only did he do that, and you're exactly right. I mean, he knows his run. I mean, that even gets a smile on his face. Because you don't practice this. Now, you practice the footwork. I mean, it's just a spin, a 180 throw. And look at the accuracy. There is no better third baseman in baseball than Manny Machado defensively. I mean, it's unbelievable what he can do. And we're still talking about the play he made in front of the bag yesterday down in Tampa Bay.
Lined against the shift, and it hits the umpire, so it's foul.
Yeah, take a look right here. I mean, he gets to it, shortstop range. And then he knows he has to hurry, because if he tries to get his balance, and all of a sudden you're probably going to have a bang bang play, and then you get speed on base.
Manny's getting on Chris Conway, the third base umpire, for not getting out of the way of that.
Man, a lot of times when you cover first base, everybody will go over if you're a pitcher to slow you down. Angel Hernandez is asking for balls, went out to talk to Gosman just to make sure his third base umpire, Chris Conroy, is all right.
Freeman trying to go the opposite way, fouls it back. He's down 0-2. Now talking to Bo Porter. High pop up left side. Manny's the only infielder there. And he's got it for the out, and 2 away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Don't mess with that guy.
No.
Here's A.J. Pierzynski. And he'll take low. Pierzynski has grounded out twice, once to Scope, once to Machado.
He's having a nice year for him. I mean, you can see the batting average, but get him on, he gets him in, 345. They hit 280 as a team. As you mentioned, they're, 11th in runs? Don't hit a lot of home runs. But 280.
Last in the National League in home runs. That hugs the ground, stays fair. Flaherty goes to the bag, and Gosman has his first 3 up and 3 down inning. Well, after the bottom of the 6th, Birds come to bat in a scoreless game. Masson is brought to you by the Maryland Fire Chiefs and Maryland State Firemen's Associations. Email mdfirevolunteer@gmail.com to volunteer with your local fire, rescue, and EMS. Kevin Gausman with his pitching coach Dave Wallace. Don't think Dave has much to say to him tonight.
He said, keep doing what you're doing. And the Orioles, meanwhile, would like to, and they haven't many opportunities to put some runs on the board. One, it's a good place to start.
Flaherty leads off, then back to the top of the lineup for Reimold and Davis, and first ball swinging. Flaherty pops up. Simmons at shortstop calls, and he's got it. So on one pitch, one down here in the Orioles' 6th inning. Fans, on Wednesday, O's reliever Brad Brock will be signing autographs and meeting with fans from 11 a.m. until noon. That'll be at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria. Don't miss your chance to meet Brad and browse all the latest Orioles official gear. That's Wednesday, 11 a.m. until noon at the official Orioles team store in the York Galleria. For all the information and complete calendar of Orioles community events, visit OriolesReach.com. There is Brad limbering up just in case. Reimold takes a strike on the outside corner. Reimold went 4 for 14 on the trip. He is 1 for 2 on the night. Singled leading off in the first. High strike called. Yeah. Reimold does not like the call.
Yeah, similar to the one that they called on Cameron Maben. Well, I think the scoreboard reflects a big strike zone. And both Alex Wood and Kevin Gausman taking advantage of it. And the other thing is they're both around the plate.
And it's a bit frustrating for a hitter, though, when you take a pitch you believe is a ball and it goes the other way. Not saying the hitters are always right, but that one's a little low, 2-2.
Well, it's even more frustrating if it happens with 2 strikes. But a lot of times it gets you to 2 strikes, which irritates hitters. The same thing applies for, obviously, for pitchers. You think you throw a strike, they call it a ball, changes the count.
One thing about Reimold, he's always had a very good eye at the plate. He really has a good knowledge of his strike zone.
Buck Showalter always talks about presence. Before he got hurt, when he went to home plate, he had a presence because of his ability to run and to hit for power. Gary Crowley, longtime Oriole hitting instructor, great pinch hitter in his own right, used to say, this is a guy in the minors who can hit home runs without trying it. And there's what you talked about.
There's ball 4, and there's a 1-out walk.
Number one, it's one of the few breaking balls he hasn't thrown over, and then Reimold's ability to discern the ball from a strike.
Well, he has been on base twice. Freddie Gonzalez, the Brave skipper. So that snaps the streak. 12 in a row had been retired by Alex Wood. Here's Chris Davis, who is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out, trying to extend a hitting streak to 10 straight games. They are playing Chris Davis to hit it the opposite way and not shifting on him. Breaking ball is on the inside corner. You see Maben way over towards left center and 2 infielders on the left side, although Simmons is shading up the middle, but this is as straight up as you usually see against Chris Davis.
Yeah, they'll let him bunt in this situation, tie a ball game, and
chase the breaking ball. 0-2.
Yeah, if you can, and it's very difficult to do when a guy's got a good breaking ball, you want to swing at the one that starts at you and take the one in the middle of the plate till you get to 2 strikes. But when the guy has a good breaking ball, you usually don't pick up the spin. And then you take a fastball that turns out. I mean, you're just totally mesmerized the way he's changed speeds, in and out, up and down. And then, of course, Barnway just sitting on the outside corner, and what's he do? He hits the glove. And that ball's over the plate.
So strikeout number 5, 2 down. And here is Machado, who is 0 for 2. Machado takes ball 1. Well, hitters with an 800 OPS in every calendar month this season. Manny Machado on that list. Mike Trout, Alex Rodriguez, Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper, Mark Teixeira, Prince Fielder, and Manny. It is on base plus slugging percentage.
Well, we talked about Nick Markakis being one of those guys when you go for #1 draft choice ends up playing here. I mean, the same thing could be said for Manny. All you do is look at the All-Star game. You know he's one of the premier players in the game at age 23. Defensively, offensively.
Pops it up wide of first. Freeman has a play, and he's got it. So Manny's having a tough night. He is 0 for 3, and the Orioles strand Nolan Reimold at first. A 1-out walk and 1 left. We are through 6. Runs are at a premium here tonight. Pitchers in charge. No score. Action game 2 of the 3-game series. Ubaldo Jimenez for the O's, Julio Teheran for the Braves. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with those extra presented by Southwest, and game coverage at 7 o'clock. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Well, you look at Teheran's numbers and you go, boy, you know, not that good. Again, 1-4 on the road. Jimenez having a couple of tough starts since the All-Star break, so he needs to get back on track. Down in the strike zone. Julio Teheran, he's got an arm, very athletic. And again, Atlanta banking on down the road, having good young pitching. He's only 24, coming off 14 wins last year.
Adonis Garcia leads off. Peterson and Simmons will follow. And a strike. 1-1 to count.
It gets the appearance that this is going to be either one swing or small ball game. Get a lead guy on, run him over.
Comebacker. Ooh, funny spin, and Gausman had it. Halfway to first for the toss and 1 away. Well, these two teams very different in styles. In Atlanta on the road, 20-32. Birds are fabulous at home, out hitting the Braves. Orioles score 5 runs a game at home, 71 home runs at home. The Braves 33 home runs. Again, they're not a home run hitting team, and the Orioles have pitched well at home while the Braves have struggled pitching on the road. The other thing with these two teams, Freddy Gonzalez has a team that looks to manufacture runs. Buck Showalter has a team that lives on the big inning. They love the long ball. They look to hit home runs. And here is Jace Peterson. Ooh, vicious cut, fouled it back.
Yeah, just up enough in the zone where he couldn't get to it. And again, the Braves they're 6 games over 500 at home and 12 on the road. Big difference is the ERA. Again, 3/4 of a run more when they're away. Not the case tonight.
Jace Peterson, just 25 years old. Braves have their second baseman for the immediate future. Foul back. Atlanta has hit just 59 home runs on the year. Orioles have hit 120, so double the home runs. Another comebacker right to Gausman.
Yeah, the one thing that Matt Wieters and Kevin Gausman have been able to accomplish is, talked about how Alex Wood has not been predictable at all. Change-ups, curveball right there. He even threw a 2-1 curveball to last inning, in a fastball count, which you normally don't do in a 0-0 game, and he got it over. So you are seeing certainly the capabilities of Kevin Gausman when he gets an opportunity to pitch. And I talked about using the same ball, different ball in AAA. But when you go back and forth, pitching is feel and touch, so it's a little more difficult. You get the same field when you're one time pitching in AAA, and then you're recalled, and then you're not only doing that, but you're doing it in the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Against one of the better offenses in baseball.
Yeah, and then he gave up a 3 spot in the first inning, recovered, retired 8 in a row. Ended up allowing 4 runs in the loss, and it's outside. Well, Andrelton Simmons, who's at the plate, he and Jonathan Schoop, both from Curaçao. How about this talent? Schoop and Simmons in this game. Didi Gregorius, Orioles just saw him. Jurickson Profar of Texas. Kenley Jansen, he's the closer of the Dodgers. When we put Andrew Jones on there, is not playing anymore, because Jonathan Schoop told me that on the island of Curaçao, Andrew Jones is still the ball player all the young kids want to be like. He played in 2,196 games, did Andrew. 1,933 hits and had 434 home runs. And Andrew Jones played in the World Series for the Braves when he was 19 years old.
And he had a couple of home runs in one game. I think he had 3 in the series.
So tremendous talent coming out of Curaçao. And you have 2 of the best young players from that island nation in this game tonight, in Simmons and Schoop. When the Orioles were in New York last week, there was a reporter who covers baseball in the islands that set up a photo shoot between Schoop and Gregorius, publicizing the fact that 2 young, outstanding players playing every day in the big leagues came from that nation. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. He got him, and Kevin Gausman is back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings. 7th inning stretch at Camden Yards. Our Honda do-ups, Jones, Wieters, and Hardy.
It's Kevin Gausman trying to win here. Good stuff tonight. A lot of strikes. Same with Alex Wood, trying to run his record to 8 wins. And then the defense. Not a lot of offense tonight. One of the reasons. Manny Machado with great play. So again, there you go. Gausman threw 7 innings. Wood pitching here in the 7th. Those are your Geico game highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Well, 93 pitches for Alex Wood. Excuse me, for Kevin Gausman. 86 for Alex Wood through 6. Kevin through 7. And both these pitchers have been in command.
Yeah, you can see a pretty good mix of change-ups and curveballs to go with about the 55% fastballs.
Adam tried to bunt. Why not? Scoreless game. He's got speed. Garcia was back. He may try to do it again.
Well, again, there's certainly you try to take what they give you.
Yep, he was going for a home run, and why not? He is big in these kind of situations. Most home runs to tie or give his team the lead. Adam has done it 12 times, and that's 12 of his 15 home runs.
Yes. Of course, Trout, he hit 2 more last night to right center field. And one of the great trades of the year, Josh Donaldson going to the Jays from the A's. It's like we're kind of doing alphabet trading.
Well, they call the Mariners the M's. He could have gone from the A's to the M's. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Jones cannot believe it.
Yeah, he's going to try not to get thrown out because he knows it's a 0-0 game. You know, they always talk about in baseball, the curveball goes around the plate. That's exactly what this one did.
Wow.
But as you mentioned, I mean, you can take a look right here. That ball is off the corner. Not by much. But you had a good point earlier. You know, you pride yourself, and it's close. And I think it's one of those nights where, again, Angel Hernandez, big strike zone. It's a pitch you can't really afford to take, and when you do, you get a little frustrated. Yes. But it was close enough to be called.
It's not only big, it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's what frustrates the players. 1-0 on Wieters. And that one's low ball too.
Yeah, and there's a changeup for a strike, and he calls it a ball. Again, Matt Wieters has had the 2 best cuts other than the Travis Snyder line drive.
Line drive to right. There's a base hit for Wieters.
Yeah, because Matt, being a catcher, is smart enough to take away the inside corner, especially when he gets to 2-0 and look for something off speed. So he gets a changeup. It's not a horrible pitch. You can see him turn it over, but he just goes and covers the outside corner. This is kind of what Scott Coolbaugh talked about, the hitting instructor for the Orioles down in Tampa. You know, you have a game plan, and of course it changes as you have to adjust to Alex Wood, and he's been very, very good tonight.
J.J. Hardy 1 for 2 with an infield hit. And he'll take strike 1. The Orioles have scored 2 runs or fewer in 32 of their 97 games. And they have won just 2 of those. Rolled over, 0-2. But the way Gausman is pitching, 2 might be enough.
1 might be enough.
Wood has struck out 6. He has walked 1. He has allowed 3 hits. All 3 hits are singles. Inside 1 and 2. The Orioles have not yet had a base runner to second base in this game. Oh, excuse me. Yes, they have 1. Nolan Reimold in the first inning went to second on a wild pitch. That was the leadoff batter of the game for the O's in the bottom of the first. Wieters at first. The pitch to Hardy. Breaking ball's low. And it's 2-2. So 2-2 on JJ after an 0-2 start. And he got him.
Yeah, another, again, it's only 88, but it's perfectly located. In and out. He adds a little bit, subtracts, and then adds up and away. 2-seam fastball, a little late run. Right off the middle of the plate.
So Frazier, the right-hander, and McKirahan, the left-hander.
Yeah, experience with Frazier, power arm with McKirahan.
Breaking ball freezes Snyder. Snyder is closing in on a month without an RBI. His last RBI was June 30th.
And he's hitting .289 with runners in scoring position. There's not a lot of opportunities. And Ryan Lavarnway out to say, okay. And again, I'm sure Lavarnway, who went to Yale, understands that, again, Wood doesn't throw up too many home runs to lefties, but as you said, Travis Snyder did hit a home run off him last year. Now, Lavarnway wasn't catching. And in this type of ball game, you're always going, okay, where do I go to stay away from the long ball, whether it'll be a home run or a double. And that's that change up, down, and in. Hard to do much with that as long as you keep it off the plate. And by throwing that pitch, again, you know, now Travis is looking inside corner, and he's shown us the ability to go down and away all night long.
Ball and 2 strikes on him. Up and away, 2-2. They're playing Snyder to hit it the opposite way. There's scouting reports, of course, factoring in Alex Wood in his repertoire, that there'll be some late swings against Wood. Popped up, shallow left. Backing out is Garcia, the third baseman. He's got it. And in foul territory, has it for the out, and the inning ends. So 1-out single through 7. We are scoreless at Camden Yards. Strong fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to #OsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast like this, family, brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, looks like that's in the Legends Park picnic area. Okay, and I've seen the couch cam photo of Jim Palmer that didn't win, and now I see why.
It was.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, I did.
Well, you played the part. You got all the Orioles stuff. The gnome.
Yeah, the gnome. Well, of course, the gnome is not having a good year. Buck's gnome. I mean, no offense. Seriously. Something like started out 5 and 15. The gnome did.
Right.
It's not good. Couple of wins. So 2-0. Gnome has had a good weekend.
Gnome had a good weekend.
Gnome's got 2 months to get his act
Did you bring
straight.
the gnome back?
No.
You left it in California?
Yes. I did.
2-0 on Lavarnway leading off. Perez on deck, then Markakis for Atlanta. Gosman's retired 7 in a row. Back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings.
So Lavarnway now can look for a fastball. He's been a little late on it, but he can look for it inside half.
Or right down the middle.
Yeah, well, inside middle, yeah.
Kevin has struck out 4. He has walked 1. And he has scattered 4 hits. Skied to right. Here's Davis. And he puts it away and one away here in the Atlanta 8th. Follow the Orioles wherever you are with MLB.com at bat. It is the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Nice crowd on hand on this Monday night welcoming the Orioles home. This is the first home game since before the All-Star break. The Orioles closed out the first half with a 3-game series against the Nats that drew 3 huge crowds as Perez swings through it. Then it was an 11-day, 9-game road trip. They traveled on the final day off of the All-Star break and then had a day off in New York. Foul back and it's 0-2.
And the infield, especially shortstop, Manny Machado will move back at third. But again, remember, 2 infield hits. One pretty routine, but it was up the middle, and by the time J.J. Hardy got to it at shortstop, he couldn't make the throw because Perez can run a little bit.
An 0-2 pitch to Perez. Upstairs, he wouldn't chase.
Yeah, only really. I mean, if you look at pitch count, 3rd and 4th. 18 and 17.
Strike 3 call. Paints the outside corner.
Yeah, he saw enough of the other pitches tonight where with 2 strikes you can see some of the Braves hitter looking for other pitches. And then again, perfect pitch right on the outside quarter of the plate. A lot of fastballs, and what I like is his ability to get to the glove side. And that's down and away to the right-handers. If you can do that, of course, that's what Dave Wallace and Dom Cheedy, Oriole pitching coaches, teach. Got to have the good mechanics to do that.
Here's Markakis, who is 1 out of 3 in his return to Baltimore. He doubled leading off the game, and he'll take a strike. Nick has 107 hits on the year now, 25 of those for extra bases, but he has just 1 home run. And it's fouled back, and it's 0-2.
And Nolan Ryman will move over now, reading the bat in left field about 3 or 4 steps. They play considering it's 2 outs in a ballpark. The outfield very shallow in a 0-0 game. Usually you don't want a ball hit up the gap or over your head.
Outside, 98. Nick able to sleep in his house in Baltimore County last night as the Braves arrived here from St. Louis. And there's a base hit. He left it out over the plate. Adam Jones trying to cut it off. He'll get there. Markakis is thinking to, and then puts on the brakes. And stares out at his former teammate, and Adam's saying, "Don't run on me. You're not running on me."
Well, you're playing over in left center because he's throwing fastballs right by him, and he comes back, throws a changeup right in the middle of the plate, and that speeds up the bat. He hits the ball kind of up the gap. But again, Adam Jones, he's won 4 gold gloves, and Nick knows better and plays in front of him. So as he comes around first, he sees the throw, would have been out, and don't be thinking about it.
That's great. They are very good friends. When Adam got married in the offseason, Nick attended the wedding. And he keeps him out of scoring position with his fine play in center field. And there is a strike taken by Cameron Mabel. Brian Mattis is now getting loose as Gausman is at 106 pitches.
And they've been pretty high intensity pitches with a 0-0 ball game.
There's a bloop to right field. Davis won't be able to get it. That's going to fall in there for a base hit. That's going to send Markakis to third, and that play by Jones looming larger now. Another bloop hit by the Atlanta Braves. That one sawed off.
Yeah, 3 ground balls, and then right here the little inside out pitch, and then boy, luck's a big factor in this game. Doesn't hit it well. You can see Nick Markakis all the way around second to third, and
And that's going to do it for Gausman. So Buck gave him a chance to get out of the inning, but in a scoreless game in the 8th, you play for the win. And Kevin Gausman, once again, no run support whatsoever. In fact, 0. So now in 5 starts, the Orioles have gotten him a total of 4 runs of support. He leaves to a standing ovation.
Fastball, command of all his pitches. So he will get into the 8th inning and have to leave on the couple of singles, one by Markakis, one by Maben. So a lot of fastballs, the breaking ball threw it over, change-ups, and again a lot. I mean, look at that, 107 pitches, 70 strikes. Now it's time for a little relief for your car too. Visit Jiffy Lube for regular oil changes and help prevent damage and wear to your engine. Jiffy Lube, drive in today. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup pitcher. Hasn't pitched since the 21st, so 6 days. And again, what he does so well when you look at Brian Mattis is the matchup against left-handers. You can see that as Freeman steps in, 277 hitter against left-handed pitching. One of the classic late inning matchups.
So 6 of his 13 inherited runners have been stranded.
Which is a high number for him. Anywhere if you can be around the 25%, you're doing a pretty good job.
And a foul off the shin guard of Matt Wieters, so it's 1-1. Braves 0 for 5, runners in scoring position. The Orioles have had only one chance. They're 0 for 1.
And remember, Freeman came in, even though he's been injured for 5 weeks, at 4-11.
Yeah, this is the one guy you don't want to see at the plate in this situation. He is their most productive hitter. Chases a high fastball.
Well, again, when you don't play and you're having wrist problems, you know, I ran into Freddie and I said, how is it? He said, well, I can play. So he's probably not 100%. And right there, Brian Mattis is able to get him to go out of the zone.
1-2 on Freeman. 1st and 3rd, 2 down in this scoreless game. Struck him out. Got another fastball by him. Brian Mattis does his job. He gets the dangerous Freddie Freeman. The Braves strand 2. We head to the bottom of the 8th in a scoreless game. Tearing in. A total of 9 hits in this game. Alex Wood, 103 pitches, stays on to begin the 8th.
Yeah, last time he got into the 8th inning was back in June in Pittsburgh. 7 1/3 innings and 5 hits, no runs.
Jason Frazier, the right-hander. Ross Detweiler, the left-hander for Atlanta. And there's Zach getting ready to come on and pitch the 9th. To either look for a save or keep it a tie to get it to extras. Scope is 0 for 2. He has flied out twice. Breaking ball is outside. Appeal. He didn't go. Good take. Ball 2.
Yeah, it's that time of the game where you almost, you talked about adjustments and having a game plan. He can pitch in, but he's getting you out away. So right there, that you could see Lavarnway go up and in, and he missed his target by about 2 feet. So again, Scope, look for the outside half, give him till you get to 2 strikes in, and maybe you can get a ball up in the zone. And hadn't been a whole lot. Here's a curveball. It's a late call.
Orioles, they're taking that feeling that it did bend around the plate, and it doesn't matter. He calls it anyway. So it's 2-2. Outside ball 3. Orioles trying to get that leadoff man here in this scoreless game in the 8th.
A lot of times when you get your pitch count to where it is at 108, it's not that you get tired and you can't throw that hard. You just can't make the quality of pitches. Maybe don't have the same kind of movement.
Foul tip. Lavarnway can't hold it.
So instead of being either up and out of the zone, you're in the zone. And tonight he's just, it kind of reminds me. I mean, Mickey Lolich threw a lot harder, but Lolich could go a whole game, 9 innings, and maybe give you 2 good pitches to hit.
Freddie Gonzalez pacing a bit on the bench. And the 3-2 is inside. He walked him. So the leadoff walk gets the go-ahead run on in the bottom of the 8th. And that is the second walk issued by Alex Wood. So now we'll look for Ryan Flaherty to lay down a sacrifice bunt.
And David Lowe's going to come in, and he will pinch run down at first. Real good at bat. Again, Wood very stingy with the base on balls tonight. And Jonathan Scope able to earn one here in the 8th inning.
Ryan Flaherty on his birthday today. He is 29 today. David Lowe's going to pinch run for Scope to get some speed out there. Quick throw to first, and Lowe dives back. The step off throw move.
Well, that certainly will cut down your lead. But this is all with speed. If you're Ryan Flaherty and before the DH, if you had a catcher that could run a little bit, just get the ball down, get the bat head out in front of home plate, make a good bunt. See him right there. He jabbed at that. That was not a particularly good bunting attempt. You don't have to make the perfect bunt with David Lowe running at first. Just get it on the ground, and very difficult for them to be able to execute getting the lead runner. But it all starts with the bat out in front of home plate and just letting the ball travel to the bat head.
And a throw to first.
This is already the most pitches that Alex Wood has thrown this season. Pitch counted 1-1.
Bunts it up in the air right to Freeman. So
well, somebody
can't get it done.
Yeah, well, it wasn't very good fundamentals there. And that's unusual because Ryan is such a sound fundamental player. I mean, really he dropped the bat head. You know, you want to always keep the bat head, the handle below it, and you could just see him do that, and then that elevates the ball and they get it out.
Here comes Freddie Gonzalez, and a pitching change will be made. Alex Wood will leave. They'll go to the right-hander Jason Frazier. He'll come on with Lowe at first, 1 down, in a scoreless game in the 8th.
say tomorrow. He pitched very well. Also threw a few more breaking balls. Almost a 50-50 mix. Curveballs and changeups, but kept him out of the middle of the plate. The veteran Jason Frazier, who was actually pitching extremely well for Kansas City. Very deep bullpen. Atlanta ends up getting him, so a veteran right-hander, fastball, breaking ball pitcher. And you can see right there, lefties hitting him obviously a lot better. And almost a few more fly balls than grounders. So that's a pretty good number right there. As far as that's what one of the other numbers you looked at. If you're a setup guy, can you keep the guys that are on base when you come in from scoring?
Well, Frazier, in a strange move, was released by Kansas City on July 15th, despite the fact he had an ERA of 1.54 in the Royals bullpen. And 2 days later, he signed with Atlanta. He signed on July 17th, which was the first game after the All-Star break, and made his debut the next night. He'll face Reimold here with the pinch runner low at first base and one down. Frazier is the 51st different player the Braves have used this year, and that is a franchise record for most players in a season. Ballpark is eerily quiet here in the 8th inning.
Well, that's another thing that, when you get a veteran arm, and don't think that Jason Frazier may not be trade bait before the trading deadline, because again, as we know, John Hart has taken over as, I don't know what his official title is. He's a general manager. President. He runs everything. So he's just going to hold the ball, and then there's your fastball. He used to throw 93 to 95. If you look at his numbers now, fastball at 91 to 92, slider at 84, and then a change-up in between at 86 miles per hour.
Reimold has singled, he has walked, he has flied out.
See, now all of a sudden, if you do hit one up the gap, even though they're playing deep, with David Lowe's speed, you have a chance to take the lead.
Lowe is running, pitch is swung on and fouled back.
And Nolan Reimold got a fastball out over the plate, which is one of his strengths in 91. And good swing, and there goes the runner.
Well, he had a good jump.
Boy, you can see somebody's got to cover. When you start the runner, it's one of the things you usually open up holes. And again, if you hit a ground ball to the right side, you probably get first and third. Nolan Reimold fouled it off.
Nolan has not hit a home run since June 13th. 50 at-bats without a long ball for Reimold. And the throw to first, low back easily.
Yeah, David Ardsman, the right-hander, and then Ross Detweiler. You saw him when the Rangers were in. Didn't pitch in any of the games.
And then they released him. Here's the 0-2. It's upstairs, 1-2. The Braves used 50 players in 2007. That was their franchise record until Frazier made his first appearance. They've had 12 players make their major league debuts this year in Atlanta. 1-2 on Reimold with Lowe at first. Lowe is running, and the pitch is taken for a strike, and the ball is dropped, and Lowe steals second base.
They picked a real good pitch to run on. Looked like a changeup. So mid-80s versus 90, and then Larvarn way. I mean, if you don't catch it, you can't throw it. The ball slips out of his hand. There's your potential go-ahead run.
Reimold thought it was outside. So David Lowe gets into scoring position.
Oh, they're going to walk Chris Davis.
First base is open. Right-handed bat is on deck.
Let's pick your poison. And then again, you talked about Manny Machado had as good a June as you possibly has had, but July not as good, even though it's a very good month. You figure I'll pitch to him, and if you're Freddie Gonzalez, but it's not a bargain. Not the way he can spray the ball around the ballpark.
Righty versus righty matchup here. Machado has 3 at-bats against Frazier, and he is 0 for 3.
I think the other factor is, Jim, is that if you can throw 95, 6, 7 like some of the relievers can, Frazier can't do that anymore. It's probably a little better matchup against Chris Davis. So now you just hope Frazier can use all his pitches to get Manny Machado out.
Roger McDowell is going to go out for a chat. He's the pitching coach.
I mean, not a lot of at-bats against Frazier, but Manny 0 for 3. And of course, Chris Davis 2 for 5. But relatively new pitcher for Roger McDowell. How do you want to pitch him? LeVar Moy, of course, played for the Orioles. The thing about Jason Frazier, he does have 3 pitches, but he's more of a high ball pitcher, and Manny Machado is about as good a high ball hitter on the Oriole team.
Manny has popped up to second, popped up to first, and flied out to right. And again, a strange outfield alignment. Maben towards right center and Perez towards the left field line. Look at the gap in left center field.
And again, very shallow in this park.
First and second, 2 down in this scoreless game in the 8th.
In fact, incredibly shallow in the outfield.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, there's the high pitch, and it's a changeup, a hanger.
Manny at 297 with runners in scoring position. The Orioles as a team 286. And a good take, 1-1.
And then trying to throw a splitter change down in the zone, get him to chase. Well, he definitely had problems with Alex Wood's changeup. That's how good it was. And when Manny's at his best, he uses the whole field, especially right center.
Wood held Davis, Machado, and Jones to a combined 0 for 9 in this game. 1-1 on Manny. Outside, ball 2. All right, so what do you look for here? 2-1.
Well, the reason the league hits 176 with 2 strikes is they have to look for everything. So you either pick the outside 4 balls or the inside. If you try to cover the whole plate, average goes down.
2-1. It's swung on and missed. Off speed pitch outside. A single can get the Orioles the lead with the speed of David Lowe. He's at second base. Pinch ran, stole second. Davis, after the intentional walk, is on at first. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on in the 8th. Upstairs, ball 3. So he got him to chase in the prior pitch, but that time he laid off.
Yeah, mainly because it was up over his head. And you want to be a manager? Imagine if you're Freddie Gonzalez, Alex Wood looking on. One of those games where 1 pitch, 1 hit may be the difference.
And the runners will be off with the pitch here. 3-2 with 2 down. That gives the Orioles an edge. Here they go, and the 3-2 is swung on and missed. He gets Machado. So Frazier comes on, strikes out Reimold, walks Davis, gets Machado. We head to the 9th in a scoreless game. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, no score as we go to the ninth. Total of just 9 hits, and Zach Britton comes on for the O's.
Yeah, came in yesterday and got a save, 25 out of 26. And you can see the last 25 games, 18 of those saves. And again, having one of those marvelous years. A lot of fastballs, big breaking ball yesterday, and when he threw it underneath the strike zone. And at least to me, the most remarkable number, the batters that he has faced, 84 of them, only 9 balls in the air. So 75 on the ground. Pronounced ground ball pitcher.
Here's A.J. Pierzynski leading off, waves at it 0-1. Flaherty moves from first base to second base. And Chris Davis comes in from right field. He's now at first. David Lowe, who pinch ran for Scope in the game, in left field. And that moves Reimold from left field to right field. No chance at that. 0-2.
And A.J. Pierzynski, he even can laugh at those 2 swings. One wave, and then if he looked like he was chopping wood. But don't let him trick you. Just make your pitch, because he's a slasher. I think he swung. Could have hit a double on that swing.
Chris Conroy said he checked.
Take a look. This is what Chris is looking at.
No, he did check.
No, he did.
Pierzynski is just 1 for 9 against Zach Britton, one of the few Braves that has seen Zach. See you later. Fastball at 97 with sink.
Well, you just watch and you marvel at Zach Britton's ability to make the ball sink at this velocity. I think it's going to be somewhere around the thighs, and it just goes down. And then lately, more so this year than last year, he's able to throw that slider, and I mean, it is a devastating downer.
Here is Adonis Garcia playing in his 5th big league game, and he has to face one of the elite closers in the game in Zach Britton.
Well, the only good news for Adonis, he's not a left-handed hitter. He probably doesn't even know who Zach Britton is, which is probably a good thing for him.
High fly ball to right. He got a lot of it. Back it goes, and it is gone. It's onto the flag court for a home run. And the Braves have a 1-0 lead.
Well, that guy said, hey, just a guy that throws 95, 96, maybe 97. Already a double to right field. And again, only the 10th ball in the air all year off of Zach Britton. And it sails right out of here. Not a bad pitch outside third of the plate. And he just goes with it. Camden Yards, small ballpark, 1-0 Braves.
So his first home run over the weekend in St. Louis broke a 2-all tie. This one breaks a scoreless tie. Second home run allowed by Zach on the year. And it's upstairs as Wieters is going to go talk to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, emotionally, it's not a physical problem. You make your pitch, and this is what this game is about. Sometimes you do everything right, and the hitter's a little bit better. Because that wasn't a bad pitch. It wasn't, he was his best pitch, which is a sinker. Stayed up a little bit. And again, Garcia put a great swing on it. And there's Jim Johnson, as we mentioned, who's become the closer for the Braves.
And a strike taken, so 2-1. The only other home run allowed by Zach came on May 16th. David Freese of the Angels hit him out here at Camden Yards. It was a solo home run. Outside for ball 3. Chaz Rowe now getting loose for the O's. And a chopper. Britton gets a lot of those. Underhand toss to get Peterson and 2 away. So the Orioles now need a run in the bottom of the ninth to tie. They'll have Jones, Wieters, and Hardy coming up. 3 possible home run threats. Adonis Garcia with his 2nd home run in his 5th big league game.
Yeah, he only had 6 at bats in the big leagues before he hit the home run yesterday. And it ended up, as you mentioned, 2-2 ball game. Michael Wacha, all-star for the Cardinals.
Here's Simmons, and a comebacker. Zach has it, and he fires to first, and that ends the inning. Damage is done. The Braves have broken through. The home run got by Garcia. We head to the bottom of the ninth. Johnson on for the save.
The fans are really getting into it now that they're down by a run here, starting in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
Yeah, Gausman and Wood both pitched perfectly into the 8th inning. Bullpens took over. Zach Britton gives up a rare run, and the Orioles find themselves down 1-0 in the top of the 9th. Going into the bottom, 3 big power guys coming up for the O's.
Do or die, bottom half of the 9th inning. Let's go upstairs now. Jim Hunter, Jim Palmer will take you through, and we'll be back with those extra post game in just a moment.
All right, Tom and Rick, thanks so much. And Rick makes a good point. Zach had not allowed a run since June 23rd. We're on July 27th, but it comes in a scoreless game, and Garcia hits it out. And now coming out for the save is the former Orioles closer, Jim Johnson.
Yeah, fastball, as you can see, it's a sinker, 94, curveball at 80. Changeup's a hard one, kind of a splitter change that goes down when he keeps it down in the zone. Again, low ERA. Jason Grilli, the Achilles tear, so Jim comes on as a closer. So 9 out of 12, but 4 in a row since he's become the closer for the Braves. Orioles know all about him. 2 consecutive years of 50 or more saves. What, 4 years? 3 and 4 years ago.
He has to go through Adam Jones, Matt Wieters, and J.J. Hardy. Orioles need 1 to tie or 2 to walk it off. Adam is 0 for 3 on the night. And a slow roller. This is going to be a tough play. Jim Johnson throws off balance, and Adam Jones is on with a swinging bunt hit. So the tying run is on in the ninth.
Well, we see it all the time against Zach Britton. Power sinker. Can't do much of it. Pounded in the ground. This was a very ill-advised throw, but nice play by Freddie Freeman. No way of getting Adam Jones. One of those emotional throws you make sometimes.
Johnson looked like he thought Garcia was going to be there. When he looked up, he wasn't there.
It wouldn't have mattered. He had his, I mean, that's just an infield hit. So it kind of sets up. You get speed. You have a guy that can pull the ball, and Matt Wieters coming to the plate.
And a fastball for a strike.
Not a lot of home runs for Jim Johnson. Again, 47 innings, a couple home runs. And there's a curveball in it. When he throws it over, it is a good one. And we saw that in his years with Baltimore.
Career games here at Camden Yards, 188 games, 12 and 13, 58 saves in this ballpark on this pitcher's mound. Oh, 2 on Wieters with Jones at first. He'll draw a throw and Adam diving back in safely. Base hit to center field. Adam Jones is going to make the turn. He's going to challenge Maben, who instead throws to second base. On an 0-2 pitch, a base hit by Wieters. Tying runners at third, winning runners at first, and nobody out.
Yeah, not the pitch Jimmy Johnson wanted to make. I mean, a hanging curveball, and Matt Wieters all over it. I mean, it just kind of says hit me, and he does. But the good thing is, what should Adam Jones stop? He has to make sure the ball clears the infielder. Did not want to get doubled up, and he didn't.
And that was a good play by Maben, because even if Jones scores, he's only the tying run. You don't want the go-ahead run, the winning run, to get to second base trying to get Jones at third.
Yeah, and the other factor is that Adam Jones knew exactly how deep Cameron Maben was.
So J.J. Hardy, big numbers in these situations. 7 of 12 times he's delivered. 26,000 plus on their feet. Outside, ball 1.
You know, JJ at 339 with runners in scoring position, as you could see. And the reason is that he'll hit it up the middle into right field with the best of them.
Breaking ball bends in there for a strike. JJ wasn't looking for that, so 1-1 the count.
But again, in this count, you don't need to. The pressure is on Jim Johnson. He's trying to strike out J.J. Hardy. J.J. Hardy would love to get a base hit, but would take a fly ball of any depth.
Johnson steps off and asks LeBarnway to go through the signs again. Fans are getting on him, trying to rattle him. Still nobody out. Runners at first and third. Line drive left field. Back on it is Perez. He's got it. Here comes Jones towards the plate. It is not in time, and the game is tied. The sac fly and the RBI for J.J. Hardy. Blown save for Johnson, and we're back even at 1.
Yeah, it all starts on an infield hit. Nice at bat by J.J. He's trying to strike him out, or at least get to strike 2 up and in, and J.J. Hardy all over that fastball. And nice base running by Adam Jones. First thing he does is turn around and go tag up.
So Wieters now represents the winning run. He's at first with 1 down. And here is Travis Snyder, who is due. Fouled back the other way, 0-1. Darren O'Day now getting loose to come on and pitch in the 10th if this game doesn't end. Snyder is 0 for his last 13. Winning run at first, not a lot of speed with Matt Wieters. Line to right field. Markakis is there, and he's got it for the out. So 2 men down here in the 9th inning. And David Lowe will come up as Freddie Gonzalez looks over the matchups. David's first at bat.
Yeah, the Orioles with only 2 bench players left. That's Parmelee and Paredes, and then Caleb Joseph, your second catcher.
All right, David Lowe against Jim Johnson has had 1 at bat. He's 1 for 1 in the 1 hit, a home run. And he fouls it straight down at the plate, 0-1. David's bat coming on a bit. He took an 0 for yesterday, but he was 7 for his last 24 in his last 7 games.
Well, you make a great point. Because you're not going to pinch run and get down to your second catcher, it's going to take a couple of hits most likely to score Matt Wieters.
A lot of room in the right center gap. They're not expecting Lowe to pull the ball.
Well, if he hits one up that gap, maybe Wieters may score.
Outside. 1-1. So the infield hit got it going. Then Wieters got Jones to third, and Hardy with a good at bat hit it deep enough to get Jones in on the sac fly, and we are tied at 1. So each team's closer allows a run in the 9th inning, and the Orioles get another and walk it off.
As we mentioned, Jim Johnson had been one of those runs where he had over 17 consecutive scoreless innings.
Zach Britton on the bench after the home run by Garcia gave the Braves the lead. Check swing, he didn't mean to, and it's a foul ball.
Well, you know that Zach Britton's going to obviously be distressed by the home run, but it's your best pitch. The guy just hit it. It happens. Happened to me a lot. You make the pitch, and much like you hung a pitch, tremendous approach. It gives you an idea how easily, if you go the other way at Camden Yards, you can hit home runs to the opposite field, both righty and lefty.
And the 1-2 is low, 2-2. Now I wonder if Wieters gets to second base here. Buck might pinch run then. Well, 2-2. Line back the other way. Well, David Lowe, April 25th, he came up in a spot to win it. And against the Red Sox, he did exactly that. On a Saturday night, he hit it out onto the flag cart, and the Orioles walked it off. Two and two the count on David Lowe. Inside, ball 3. Johnson started walking off the mound. Now this is a huge break for the Orioles. Full count now, which means Wieters, with not a lot of speed, will be off with the pitch. So he'll get a break towards second.
Yeah, it's just it's a minute advantage, but when you don't have a lot of speed, you just never know.
Freeman plays behind him. Wieters goes, and a swing and a miss. He got him. So David Lowe down on strikes, and the inning ends. But the Orioles get the game tied. We are heading to extras, a 1-1 game as we go to the 10th. They are 2-6, and as we go to the 10th, here's Darren O'Day.
Yeah, another really good year. I mean, a little rough go of it Friday night when he came in man on 1-0 ball game, and they would end up for the first time getting more than one run in an inning, 3 as a matter of fact. But again, does exactly what he does. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. Lefties hit him a little bit better than righties. And then again, so deceptive. Throw any pitch, anytime. And the other thing is he can pitch multiple innings if necessary.
Jim Johnson pacing on the bench, upset at the blown save.
Well, it all started with the infield hit. And he got lucky on the line drive that J.J. Hardy hit for the sacrifice line drive. He easily could have been a double if it wasn't right at their left fielder.
And a strike. Lavarnway 0 for 3. He has flied out twice and struck out. O'Day did work an inning yesterday scoreless. He did allow a couple of hits, but no runs in the rubber game in Tampa. O'Day trying to keep this tied, get the Orioles up in the bottom of the 10th. 0-2. Lavarnway, one of the few hitters who has seen O'Day. He is 0 for 2 in his 2 appearances against him.
Yeah, he can get you out so many ways, especially when he gets to 2 strikes. He can throw the slider at your front hip if you're a right-handed hitter. A lot of guys give up on it. He can sweep it away. He can ride it. He can sink it. There's the rider. And that's at 88. Pretty good pitch if it's up out of the zone.
Arodys Vizcaíno is getting loose.
He of the 97, 98 mile per hour fastball.
O'Day ahead of Lavarnway 0-2. Perez on deck and then Markakis in this tie game in the 10th. 1-2. He lays off. Gausman a career high 7 2/3 innings scoreless. Mattis got the only batter he faced. Zach Britton 1 run in 1 inning, and now O'Day. And another pop up. Reimold in right. And one away in the Atlanta 10th inning. Well, the Orioles trying to win their 3rd straight game. Yankees are leading in Texas 4-2 in the 6th. The O's are 7 games back of first place New York.
Yeah, and the Orioles know what their job is, and that is just to win games. You know, the Yankees are going to do what they're going to do, and all you can do is do what you did the last 2 games down in Tampa. And that is win the ball game and take your chances.
Breaking balls high as Perez showed bunt.
Yeah, the kind of interesting numbers to me is the Braves, they're 46 and 52. They're 7 games back behind the Nationals. The Orioles are 48 and 49. They're 7 back in the loss column to the Yankees.
And he does bunt, but he fouls it off. 1-1.
And you keep seeing that number, and of course it's not the Orioles, it's the Kansas City Royals. They went all the way to the 7th inning of the World Series, beat the Orioles, swept them in the championship series, and they were 49 and 50 after 99 games last year.
And that's what the Orioles are coming into tonight.
Well, they're actually 48
and 49. I'm sorry.
They have one less loss. One less win, one less loss.
Yuri Perez, left fielder, 2 for 3. Chops it foul, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Machado off the bag at 3rd.
Yeah, you got to play. A lot of times teams will guard the line in a tie game. You got to play where you think they're going to hit it.
And Johnson with A.J. Pierzynski. I mean, the Jones base hit, that was a real good pitch. He just got unlucky, Johnson. And Adam, he gets his share of infield hits. But the Wieters at bat on the 0-2 pitch, that was the key at bat.
Yeah, he hung a curveball. Wasn't a good pitch.
Another foul ball.
Well, so Perez hanging tough. You don't see too many young hitters, especially right-handers, come in and be able to pick up the ball because of the arm slot. We saw Alex Wood hide the ball so well, change speeds. Darren O'Day, of course, not a starting pitcher at this point in his career, but same things. Hides the ball well, changes speeds, up and down, in and out.
Nearly hit him 2-2. So Yuri Perez about to see a 7th pitch in this at bat as he's prolonged it with the foul balls. He was originally signed by the Nationals, went to the Yankees on waivers last September, and then waivers to Atlanta in January. So 3 different teams liked his potential. Towards the middle, and Hardy can't reach it. A 3rd hit for Yuri Perez, and the potential tie-breaking run is on with 1 down.
Yeah, so we mentioned his ability, at least at the minor league level. 64, 45, 26, 20, 23, 20 stolen bases. Now they went down as he got higher up, but you think that maybe, maybe only with 1 out you'll leave the first base hole open for Nick Markakis. But you got to think he's going to be running at some point in the next 2 outs, trying to get somebody into scoring position.
Infield at double play depth, and Davis will hold the bag. Markakis is 2 for 4 in his return to Baltimore. He is running. Pitch is taken outside. Throw to second by Wieters is high, and he's safe.
Yeah, you can almost see him coming. Speed. Darren O'Day, very hard for him to quick pitch. But he gets a great jump. I mean, all night long he's got huge leads. He goes, takes a look, and then the throw to the shortstop side. I don't think he's going to throw him out either way. I mean, if you're the Braves, you have to take what's out there, and they do.
13 pitches thrown already by O'Day. 1-0 on Markakis. O'Day looked. He would have had a play, but no one was covering. There was no play on. O'Day just did that on his own to get him to shorten the lead. Oh for Knight, runners in scoring position. 0 for 6 for the Braves. 0 for 2 for the O's.
Yeah, again, Nick, we're already 2 hits. 306 coming in. So it's almost like, I think if you're Darren O'Day, you're going to be very, very careful. And again, the scoreboard dictates that sometimes, I mean, you just have to do that. And we saw down in Tampa Bay after he gave up the tying run, Jaso getting hit up the middle, and Goria got the little looper, and it turned into a 3-run inning. But this is a pitch around right here.
Yeah, that one bent around the plate. Ball 3. Right-handed batter Maben on deck. Brad Brock now getting loose.
Yeah, and the trouble is Markakis at over 300. Maben at 395 with runners in scoring position. Freeman behind him at 411, and then Brzezinski at 345. Those are 4 pretty formidable guys in the top of your order.
And there's a strike. 3-1. Markakis took all the way, and it hit the corner. So the prolonged at bat by Yuri Perez. He gets the base hit, then steals second. So in this 1-1 game, the go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 down. 3 balls and a strike on Markakis. And a foul. 3-2. He came right at him.
Yeah, different side of the plate. Backdoor breaking ball, fastball inside third of the plate. Yeah, you great point about Nick Markakis, and the power numbers are down, at least to this point in the season, but 38 hits make it 39 to left, 43 up the middle, and 25 to right. So up the middle in the opposite field with the best of them. And that's why he's so tough to defense.
3-2 with one down. And the O'Day pitch, swinging a foul back. That would have been ball 4. Rode in on him, but he had committed to it.
Almost hit him. Way up on the handle. I mean, to the last second, and then you could see him way up by the trademark.
So another 7-pitch at bat. Markakis about to see the 7th pitch. Perez had a 7-pitch at bat. Markakis 0 for 1 in his only appearance against O'Day until this at bat. And a high pop-up, foul ground. And it's botched because O'Day waited for Davis and neither got it. O'Day should have just taken it. He was there, but he thought Davis was going to get in on it.
Yeah, you know, such an athletic guy to come out, throw the football. He's going to make the play. He's looking for help, and then he doesn't go get it. When he does, it's too late.
And it looked like Davis thought O'Day was going to keep it all the way, so he backed off. Well, that could be costly.
Well, it's an out, and I mean, not an easy out, because pitcher. When's the last time we saw it? Didn't Miguel Gonzalez do that? I think on the last road, not the last road trip, a couple of road trips ago.
The pitchers are so accustomed to being called off that they just assume they're going to be called off. And Davis saw O'Day had to play at that, so it was he backing off instead of calling O'Day off. O'Day was already there and had a better angle. So here's another pitch to Markakis on 3-2. And he fouls it off. So that's a tough break for the O's. Markakis has life.
Well, it's the dreaded extra out, really. And again, not a simple play, but certainly one that Darren could have made.
Here's Perez at second base, representing the go-ahead run. Pop foul the other way. And what this also does now is it inflates the pitch count of Darren O'Day as extra pitches to get Markakis. He's already at 21 pitches this inning.
And again, a bunch of pitches on Friday night in a 3-run inning. And the only ball that Perez is not going to score on a base hit is a line drive where he has to make sure the ball goes through the infield. Other than that, with his speed, very difficult to throw out.
This will be the 10th pitch to Markakis. Line deep to center field. Adam Jones over. David Lowe over, and Lowe has it for the out. That ball sailed back to Lowe, and you're so used to seeing Adam Jones take everything, it almost looked like a miscommunication. But Jones knew that Lowe had a good angle, and he let him have it.
Yeah, ball tailing away from Adam. So again, Jump, it's a catchable ball, but we already saw Adam when he was running the bases knowing where their fielders were. And you could see David Lowe loudly and apparently
emphatically
that Adam knew that he called him off.
Boy, when you watch Adam play every day, you're so used to him grabbing everything. But David Lowe, good replay there. He was calling it. So 2 down. Here's Cameron Maybin, who is 1 out of 4 on the night. He singled his last at bat. It was a bloop and a ground ball towards Machado. Manny plays it, has to hurry, and he got him by a stride. So O'Day pitches out of it. A single, a stolen base, and the potential go-ahead run left at second base. Here we go to the bottom of the 10th. O's come to bat looking to walk it off. at bat. Both Davis and Machado are hitless. Adam Jones had the single in the ninth, scored the Orioles run. Matt Wieters has a 2-hit game. J.J. Hardy has a single, sac fly for an RBI, but the lower third of the lineup, including David Lowe now in there. David Lowe struck out in his only at bat. Jonathan Scope was 0 for 2. So the bottom third is a combined 0 for 11.
Well, Arodys Vizcaino, as we mentioned, power arm. They get him from the Cubs, along with international bonus pool slots. Hard thrower, fastball, I mean, really upper 90s, 97, 98. Hard slider at 85, and then a changeup that's a little under 90 miles per hour. So he kind of worked his way. He was on the suspended list, as was Andrew McGurrahan, the lefty out of their bullpen. So kind of 8 out of his last 9 appearances scoreless. And again, a hard thrower. And of course, the big question, he'll turn 25 in November, is, and if you look at his minor league numbers, has always had a little bit of ability to throw the ball over the plate.
So here's Ryan Flaherty, who'd like to make up for not getting the bunt down in the 8th inning after the leadoff walk to Scope. High fly ball to left, but playable for Perez. And he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 down here in the 10th inning. By the way, that 10-pitch at bat from Markakis, he's at 5 at bats tonight. He's seen 30 pitches. Amazing how he works the count and fouls off balls to prolong at bats. We saw that for 9 years.
Well, he doesn't overswing.
Well, they got out of it. Well, here's Reimold. Lineup turns over now. Ball 1 low. This is the first time the Orioles have seen Arodys Vizcaino. Towards the gap, right center field. That ball is carried. Back it goes. It is off the wall and in play. Hustling to second base is Reimold. He has a 1-out double. Just didn't get it airborne enough, but the winning run is at second base with 1 down.
It's also one of the farthest parts of the ballpark. Yeah, he hits it well. I think he almost thinks it's out, because he'll come out of the box, and then when he gets around first, slow down a little bit, and then put on the jet. So again, the bottom of the wall, nicely played by Markakis.
Think he knows that wall? So now we'll see what they do here. They walk Davis's last at bat.
Well, I think you gotta pitch to Manny, not because Manny can't hit, because you want to set up a double play ball.
Right. And that's what they're going to do. They will walk Chris intentionally.
Now, not to mention that Chris Davis has been red hot.
And strategically, this is the move you make.
Yeah, and it has nothing really to do with Manny. If you think he's an easy out, you don't know baseball. And Freddie Gonzalez, who manages the Braves,
knows baseball.
It's just 1 pitch. Maybe you get a double play ball. You know, when you're maybe chasing a little bit and you really got pitched to, which is what's been the case with Manny, might be a little over aggressive.
All right, and here's ball 4. So Davis will take first. Let's go back to the bottom of the 8th. Here's Manny with 2 on and 2 out in a scoreless game.
Yeah, Jason Frazier comes on to pitch, and you can see, I mean, it's a high breaking ball. There's a low one, so 1 and 1, 2 and 1. Throws him another splitter change, 3 and 2, and then gets him to go after the 91 out of the zone. So 2 of the 3 strikes, they were balls. And when you're struggling a little bit, even though Manny doesn't struggle very often this year, strike zone gets a little bit bigger. Just human nature.
And the pitch is swung on and missed. He threw him a breaking ball.
And a good one. You know, it's one thing when you come in, you're hitting off 96, 97, because that's what the scouting report tells you. So when you throw a breaking ball, you speed up the bat if it's in the zone, but if it goes from strike to ball, it's a great pitch.
Manny is 0 for his last 12. Winning run at second in the 10th. Upstairs, laid off, 1 and 1.
Okay, there's a bad breaking ball. Now, good hitters, and Manny's in that class. If you make a mistake with another one, a lot of times you don't get away with it.
Reimold has good speed, so a single can get it done. Peterson's trying to keep him close at second base.
Yeah, see, that's a ball, but it hung, and he chased it.
Orioles hitless on the night, runners in scoring position. Although Hardy did get the sac fly with Jones at third, but that's not an official at bat. There's the winning run, Nolan Reimold. He's at second.
Yeah, and Peterson plays right behind him, so it's very hard to get any substantial lead.
Line drive foul down the right side. And a good idea going with the pitch there.
Well, when he's hitting well, I mean, that's the June swing. The 365, 22 RBIs, 8 home runs. He could get on that high fastball with the best of them.
Vizcaino in a jam here, 2 on and 1 out. Bottom of the 10th. And he got him. Off-speed pitch down and away. Machado is 0 for 5 and 2 men down.
Yeah, you get one pitch to hit. You hit it foul. You hit it well, and then just like the first breaking ball, a perfect one. Well, this is a game about talent and then execution. Can't throw it any better than that.
Roger McDowell's going to come out for a shot with Vizcaino with Jones up.
Like we mentioned, Vizcaino is only 24. So it came in with what, 22 games at the major league level. Atlanta back in 2011, the Cubs last year, and traded over in November. So not a real experienced guy. And there's McCarrahan, the lefty, hard throwing lefty.
All right, so Adam can win this game with a single, but let's revisit his home runs on the year. He has 15. And 12 of the 15 have either tied the game or given the Orioles the lead. Only Trout, Donaldson, and Pujols have more than Jones. 3 others are tied with Adam. So a flair for the dramatic with Mr. Jones, and he'd love to hit a ball left center field here and just get Reimold in and walk it off.
He'd take a 4-hopper into right field.
Outside, 1-0.
You still have to hit off of his fastball, and that's 96, 97. You know, the slider is so hard to hit, especially the ones he threw to Manny Machado. But you just hope he gets one up into the zone, and all of a sudden, it's not a very good pitch.
Pop foul out of play, so ball and a strike.
Kind of wondering, I mean, they have it on the board as a curveball, but it goes down. It's got good tilt on it. Matter of fact, any ground ball up the middle, even though Simmons has the best range zoning of any shortstop in the National League, it's going to get into center field.
1-1 on Jones. Pop foul, wide of first, and that's going to be back in the crowd. Second row behind the Orioles dugout.
And that fastball at 98.
Reimold at second. He doubled with 1 down. Davis is at first. He was walked intentionally to set up a double play possibility. Machado struck out. Now it's Jones down in the count, 1-2. Oh, he had a good cut. Fouled it straight back of the plate.
Yeah, one of those 2 strike hacks at a ball just maybe a smidgen out of the zone, but with the strike zone tonight, you can't afford to take that. Yeah, 98, it's hard to get on top of it.
A ball and 2 strikes on Adam. Fights it off again. Foul down the right field line.
Yeah, I'm trying to, you know, when you look at the acquisition of Vizcaino, you're wondering who this Tommy La Stella was. Because they traded, talk about the Braves, they traded him to the Cubs. and their international bonus pool slots number 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to have to check out Mr. LaStella.
1-2 on Jones. Fouled it back again. So Adam about to see his 7th pitch.
Yeah, Biscayne signed with the Yankees, as you mentioned, but then the Braves got him along with Melky Cabrera. Cabrera would have a great year. He'd go to the minor leagues, and what the Braves do with a lot of good young arms, they let him start. Try to get some experience going through the lineup more than once.
And a foul ball that bounced up and hit Adam in the face.
Yeah, the protect me low and away slider swing. Richie Bancels had Trainer out for the Orioles. And there's another good breaking ball. Goes straight down and right off the plate, and then gets the helmet and somewhere in the forehead.
All right, Tommy LaStella is a second baseman. He's played in 2 games with the Cubs. Looks like he's been hurt some on the year because he only had 3 games in Double-A. So, well, you know, the Cubs, they lead the league in middle infielders in their organization. Reimold's at second. He's the winning run if Jones can get him in. Another 1-2 pitch to Adam. High fly ball to right, playable for Markakis. And he's got it, and on we go. So the Orioles get the winning run to second with 1 down. Can't get him in. Brad Brock will come on as we go to the 11th.
Hitting, boy, he's been on one of those rolls. Great changeup, fastball, slider pitcher, 9 consecutive scoreless appearances. And again, that's over 12 innings pitched. You can see a lot of fastballs, 93, 94, occasionally maybe a touch faster, and then the power changeup. I like it when Mike Bordick's doing the game. He always talks about that changeup because it's really become as good of any of the 3 pitches he has. It's a strikeout pitch, ground ball pitch, and again, Bordy is a former hitter. Going, I wouldn't want to have to try to hit that one. You can see lefty's only hitting 187.
So Brad will go against Freeman, the number 3 hitter, Pierzynski, the cleanup hitter, and then Adonis Garcia, the number 5 batter. Freeman is 0 for 4. First ball swinging, and that is a fair ball back to first. So Chris Davis goes to the bag, and on one pitch, Brock gets an out.
Isn't it a wonderful thing when you throw strike one? Everybody talks about it. If you make a quality pitch, even if you get, I mean, you know, Freddie Freeman, of course, he misses 5 weeks, so he's not the Freddie Freeman that you normally see when you play the Braves. Certainly a very capable hitter. But you throw a quality pitch, make him put the ball in play, and you get one pitch, one out. And it allows you, if this game goes extra innings, to pitch more than one inning or two.
And Brad has done that quite a bit. A little bit low to Pierzynski, who was hitless 0 for 4.
Yeah, his power is down and in. And again, over the course of his career, most he's ever hit is 27 home runs. But he's one of these guys. If you pitch him down and away, he's going to hit it down the corner, up and away, dump it into left field. Pretty good breaking ball hitter. He'll look inside half now and try to put a good swing on it. May not get it there. You can see where the target is. And there's a pretty good. I mean, that's the extra base hits for swing for A.J. Pierzynski. Another hard throwing lefty, Luis Alavan.
Well, 2-1 at Pierzynski, 1 out, nobody on. Hits it into the shift, a diving attempt by Flaherty, but he can't get it. So Pierzynski hit it hard, and he's on with a 1-out single.
Yeah, and they're going to pinch run.
Pedro Ciriaco is going to come on. So better speed on. That represents the go-ahead run. Here's Adonis Garcia, who's had a big night. He is 2 for 4. And he hit the home run off Zach Britton in the 9th inning that broke the scoreless tie. Each team scoring in the 9th.
Well, he likes the ball out over the plate because the double that came back in the 4th inning was a pretty good pitch. He sliced that down the corner. The same pitch by Zach Britton. Outside quarter of the plate, home run.
Ball 1 down and in. Davis holding the bag on Ciriaco. Now you don't expect that Freddie Gonzalez would try to do a hit and run or a steal here, because if it's unsuccessful and then the Orioles come up and get a run, the game's over. So you're better off in this situation keeping the runner at first and hope for a hit, maybe one to the gap. Ciriaco's 1 out of 2 in his stolen base attempts.
Or unless the count gets to 2-1 and you do the old Sparky Anderson, it was automatic. Sparky has since passed away, but Hall of Fame manager. You could bet the ranch if you got that count, you had to throw a strike as a pitcher, he was going to start the runner.
Breaking ball is low at plenty of the plate. No, it stayed inside. It did stay inside. So 2-1 the count.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's his power zone. You just see it, and of course, part of hitting when you like the ball away is to get the count to where it was, and that's 2-1. And look out over the plate, give him the inside part of the plate, and then
Ciriaco, the pinch runner, with a leadoff first, and the 2-2 pitch is swung on him weakly at foul. Bo Porter, the third base coach, will field. And he just made a friend with a souvenir.
Yeah, good changeup, and boy, he goes right after it because he's out in front.
Thirty-year-old rookie is Garcia out of Cuba. And it's low. Good eye, ball 3. He signed with the Yankees in April of 2012, was released by New York on April 1st, and signed with the Braves on April 7th. His major league debut May 19th, and he's about to see his 7th pitch in this at bat. See if the runner goes. He is running, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Throw to second by Wieters on the other side of the base, and that's another steal for the Braves.
Yeah, and Matt's saying that he kind of got in his way at home plate, trying to plead his case, and because if a hitter, and watch him, I mean, it's good. Change up, and right there, the backswing hits him in the leg. So I mean, that he didn't try to do it on purpose, and to be quite honest, I'm not sure about the ruling on that.
It also looked like his body was over at least a third of the plate, at least the inside corner.
But watch the bat swing right there. I mean, it kind of keeps him, and then again, because the ball was down and away, so it really impeded his ability to make a direct line on a throw. And of course, the Braves get what they want. You know I'm running. If you're Brad Brock, 3-2, you have to throw a strike. So while you're not unconcerned with the runner, if you walk him, it doesn't matter. You got to throw a strike, take a little longer, and then the bat does impede Matt Wieters. And we'll have a conversation what they want to do here.
If that had been called interference on the batter, I don't think Freddie Gonzalez could have had an argument, because the bat did hit him, and you saw Wieters' glove into the back of Garcia. So Siriaco steals the base. The go-ahead run at second with 2 down for Jace Peterson. And it's low, 1-0.
Well, this time of the game, if you're Brad Brock, you look on deck. Of course, Peterson only hitting 176. Runners in scoring position. You can see the numbers for the Braves tonight, 0 for 8. And you can't give in to them. On the corners, make your pitch, power changeup. Because you do have first base open. Matter of fact, with 2 outs, you have 2 bases open.
And that's off the plate outside for ball 2.
And you get a veteran hitter, he might be sitting on a changeup here. And it really doesn't matter if Brad Brock throws it the way he's capable with life down in the zone. Yeah, there it was.
So 2-2 with the go-ahead run at second base. Go-ahead run at second with 2 men down. Outside, ball 3.
Yeah, a little extra, but right out of the hand off the plate. Peterson doesn't even flinch. And it's pretty much all to get him to a 3-2 changeup count. Simmons waiting on deck.
And he struck him out. He said he didn't catch it.
Yeah, apparently it looked like a breaking ball. Looked like he must have fouled it off.
Yeah, I did not see the foul.
So it's a little slider down and in. And
yes, he did hit it. And Wieters just couldn't keep it in the glove. So Peterson stays alive barely, but he did it. Ground ball weakly at the second. Flaherty has it. He'll play it to first, and Brad Brock gets out of it. So for a second consecutive inning, the Braves strand a runner at second base. We head to the bottom of the 11th. Wieters, Hardy, and Snyder are due up in this tie game. Then again to the bullpen. And the left-hander Luis Avilan comes on.
Yeah, a lot of fastballs, and he's got a good one. So he'll come in, turn 26. Should have known it on Sunday, the 19th. And again, righty's only hitting 184, and the lefty's a little bit higher number at 294. And he had gone through a stretch where he had 9 scoreless innings.
So Luis Avilan becomes the 5th pitcher. 1-1 game. And each team with a run in the 9th inning.
Well, he throws about almost 35% of his pitches or changeup. So, again, 2-seam, 4-seam fastball, curveball, about 78, changeup a little bit harder than that. So the ability to change speeds.
Avilan is out of Venezuela, and he has been a career Brave.
A lot of games last year, 62 of them. There before 75, 5-0. And the other thing is he doesn't walk a whole lot of people.
So here's Matt Wieters, who is 2 for 4 singles in his last 2 at-bats. Ball 1 up and away. High fly ball, right center field. Back it goes, and it's gone! Wieters hits it out, and the Orioles walk it off in the 11th. What an uplifting win for the O's on a night that was dominated by pitching.
Well, the Orioles just come from Tampa Bay. They win the last 2 there. They score, 5 runs in each game. But again, they still talk about the home run. He hit the right center down in the Tampa Bay at the bit drop. Ball doesn't carry. His power from this side is right center field. And that's exactly what he does. Thought that Avilan might have thrown him a changeup, fastball, in a fastball count. Finally, the Orioles get a pitch to drive, and Matt Wieters, as you mentioned, Jim, walks it off 2-1.
So the Orioles have made it 3 consecutive wins, and they are back to 500 at 49-49. And wow, what a clutch walk-off home run for Matt Wieters, who got the Orioles in position. And here's Matt Wieters joining us. And Matt, congratulations on the walk-off home run. What a big moment for this team.
Yeah, it's a good win. It's, they got some good arms coming out of the bullpen, but it's starting to get a little humid, so I'm glad we're able to end this one now.
Hey, let's talk briefly about Kevin Gausman. About as good as I've seen. I mean, you really, I know he's got a pitch, but you call the pitches. Everything seemed to be working tonight.
He threw the ball great. He was able to locate in, which set up all of his off-speed stuff. That's probably as good as I've seen him being able to work in and out and use his off-speed stuff.
Matt, I want to ask you about your at-bat in the 9th inning. The Orioles are down 1-0. Adam gets on, and you had a huge base hit on an 0-2 pitch. Was that something you were looking for, or did you just react to that?
Just reacting. He got himself in a hole against a really good pitcher, but knew from catching him a lot that he likes to go that break him on, try and bounce it. And I think he probably just left it a little bit up and was able to not try and do too much with it.
How's the back?
It's good.
Okay.
It's good. Got a little extra ice on it right there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The other part of this is, the talk in Tampa was after that tough loss on Friday night, let's just get a win and then let's get moving here. Now it's 3 straight wins. It looks like you're moving.
Yeah, we just got to keep playing and keep winning and one day at a time. That's our mantra right now. We've got ourselves a little bit behind, but the only way to crawl back is go one game at a time.
Are you kind of surprised there's no pies coming your way here?
I'm looking. I'm too tired to move, so I just have to let it hit me.
All right, Matt, thank you so much. Congratulations Congrats on the big walk-off win.
Thanks, guys.
That's Matt Wieters joining us on his game-winning home run. We hope you can join us tomorrow. More O's action, Game 2 of the 3-game series. Ubaldo Jimenez will be on the mound against Julio Teheran. Our coverage on MASN begins at 6:30 with O's Extra presented by Southwest, and then game coverage at 7 o'clock. And now for Jim Palmer and our entire hardworking crew, Jim Hunter saying so long from Camden Yards. Orioles walk it off 2-1 in 11. Tonight's telecast and MASN presentation. The happy recap, O's Extra presented by PNC. Tom and Rick comes your way right now.